the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more.
Call Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747 or check them out online at pittmantrt.com. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
A beautiful finish to the work week today with lots of sunshine, highs around 70, west to northwest winds at 5 to 15 miles an hour. Mostly clear tonight with lows in the mid-40s. Sunny for Saturday and a little bit warmer with highs in the mid-70s. Increasing clouds Saturday night with lows in the mid-50s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor. Located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, you're listening to ESPN 95.3, ERX Paris, Fort Smith. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that could respect it.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
All right, a Friday, a double game day, and a real important basketball game tonight, late tonight, for the third-seeded Razorbacks at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. Of course, we'll have it right here on ESPN Arkansas, this very station you're listening to. It's been a little less than a week since the Hogs were last on the basketball court. It could be very well a little less than a week until they're out there again. So it makes today a pretty important basketball game just to get back in the flow of playing hoops and streaking together some victories. Great to be with you for halftime on this double game day Friday. This is also the start of SEC baseball conference play, Arkansas and Mississippi State at 6 o'clock. And it's an important game, but I wouldn't put it on the level of the importance of tonight's Arkansas-Oklahoma round 2, which would be round 3 for OU on the hardwood at Bridgestone Arena. I'm Phil Elson, my partner Matt Jones, Christian Johnston in studio today, and we got you for the next 3 hours. Good morning to you, Matt Jones. Am I putting it a little too much on importance level for this game? I just feel like if you're playing, you don't want to just play one game in a 2-week period leading up to the start of what's hopefully a lengthy run through March Madness, or am I putting a little bit too much on that?
Well, good morning, Phil Elson. It's it's a tricky time. I would say this, that we have the best coach to navigate it. I think Coach Cal, he's done it a handful of times, so to speak. We have one of the best players in the country. And when you start talking basketball and just look at the history, I love basketball. I mean, 42 years old, been watching basketball my whole life. It's when you have the better player, it's unlike any other sport. It's not like football and baseball. Football and baseball, you could have the best player and not do it. But in basketball, when you have the best player out of the 10, out of the 2, you have a great chance to win the game. And we're going to have the better player when you look at OU, you look at Arkansas, you put coach and you put the starting 7 out there. We win every single position, right? So, I mean, it's kind of up to us. Stay out of your way, play as a team, play together, and go have fun.
I don't want to jip the softball team, which is playing really well. Thank you very much, Chandler, for pointing out it's not double game day, and I do not mean to be insulting to those who pay attention to the other sports. Triple game day, quadruple game day, whatever you want to call it. But I'm put a level of importance on one game or the other, and I think I feel like when you play a team that's almost like Oklahoma when you get into the tournament in the first round, a team that's hot, I would expect a team that's put together a few wins. And I mean, right now is OU the same team that they were when you beat them? When was that game? That was more than a month ago. That was a long time back, Matt Jones.
I think Carter Knox had a decent game. Yeah. No, you talk about teams being different. Totally different teams that we have now and then. So, yeah, hey, they're not easy at this time of year. I'm all for Miami of Ohio versus Oklahoma in a play-in game. Like that's the type of I think that would be fun. That would be one you'd kind of tune into to see if that 30-0 record means anything.
Good point. See, we're gonna have this Kentucky-Missouri game that's coming up pretty soon. I guess they start things 30 minutes later, day 2. Kentucky and Missouri will be tipping off shortly. And as I get I got so many different notes with all these different games I'm trying to pay attention to today. Then it's Tennessee and Vanderbilt, Ole Miss and Alabama. How about a number 15 seed that's won a couple of games over, a bubble team in Texas? I think Georgia's pretty fairly safely in, but again, you do not want to be losing your first game in a conference tournament. Good to hear to Mike in Bentonville pointing out, I think I'd heard this before, that no team has lost their first game of a conference tournament and gone on to win a national title. Now, I'm sure there's some teams out there, Matt, that have lost their first game in a conference tournament and still had what you could say is a run in March Madness, whether to the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight or the Final Four. Of course, you want to be cutting down some form of nets, and you don't cut down nets until you win an Elite Eight game. Then you can start cutting down some nets. And I think this team's got, I really do. I think Arkansas's got what they need to make a run in the second tournament. I just feel that I want to start seeing them play good basketball again. Getting Acuff back out there. And here's the other thing too, Matt, is what is it? An 8:45 tip-off, probably, depending on how long the Ole Miss Alabama game goes.
They won't get done until midnight, and then and as a player, it takes you from whenever the game's over with. You're not going to go to bed for at least 4 more hours. You got to wind down. You got to get some nutrition in you. You got to eat, water, stretch, ice, whatever. All the stuff you got to do. It'll be 3 a.m., 4 o'clock in the morning before these kids get to sleep, and then they're going to have to turn around and come back and play again at 3 o'clock. So about 12 hours off from the time you go to. So then you wake up. It's going to happen quick. I didn't know it was that bad. That's they should be ashamed of themselves. That is not. It's a bad product. You're putting kids at risk. It's that man. This. How are we in 2025? Is this what year are we in? 2026? What year is this? Like, why is it so antiquated? Why is it? That's the schedule. That's horrible.
Speaking of put the players at risk, did you see the Big 12 decided to scrap the glass floor with the LED lights underneath it for the semifinals of their tournament because players were complaining, not just complaining, you could just see it. They were slipping on the court. One player complained about getting or at least he said one of his teammates got a migraine headache from the lights underneath the floor. This is the kind of stuff, you and I've talked a lot about, playing on grass fields. The FIFA World Cup is coming to the United States, and so some of these football stadiums that don't have natural grass, well, they're putting grass on it because you have to have grass. And I never thought about this when it came to basketball before. I think about it with baseball. I think about it with football, anything that's, played outdoors. And I never thought about you could have a basketball court, unless it's just slippery because of condensation. Or, the parquet floor dead spots. I don't think that was an issue of safety or anything. That was just knowing where to dribble the ball. But I'd never heard about that before. Now you got a basketball court that was causing migraine headaches. And, of course, the only reason you would have an LED court is to have some wow factor, a cool factor, and probably sell some added sponsorships that go along with that. Maybe some Excedrin sponsorships might have helped them out.
It's a clown show, that's for sure. There's a lot of clowns out there, and that's one of them right there. What's going, like, come on, man. That's ridiculous. Who is in charge of this stuff? Like, who are the people that are making money sitting around me? Because, I don't really go to a lot of meetings or anything, but that's what got accomplished in that meeting was, what we should do is make an LED light show. It's like, bro, let's worry about having good basketball game and having good referees. There's other things to worry about than having an LED light show at a basketball game.
Well, I'll say this for the SEC, on the SEC side. I don't think they've changed anything about the basketball floor for a long, long time. It's the same. I mean, I think it's exactly the same that it's looked like since this tournament basically became the welcome to Nashville annually, sort of the same thing in Greenville with the women's tournament. So I think part of it is also the Big 12 knows, when they're going to get some real national cachet, it's going to come in the sport of basketball. They're going to be flashy. That is the league, Matt, that was talking about doing a Big 12 in Mexico thing, remember? And that they scrapped that because the idea didn't really seem to make much sense outside of maybe the one meeting that it got approved upon. So, but I guess that's a league that's willing to, well, the positive way to look at it, or I guess the positive messaging they would use is be thinking outside the box. Sometimes the box didn't even have any tape to like box it up with.
Everybody's trying to outsmart the room or outthink the room or trying to, make a mark or what. It's like, man, there's some things that are fine. There's some things that are fine the way they are.
I love how Gavin points out to me here, says our government and college athletics are both run by morons. Well, when's the last time you voted for somebody that runs college athletics? Just think about that for a moment. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We'll take your calls. We'll take your texts here up until 2 o'clock this afternoon. And on halftime today, let me get my mind clear here. I had a problem. I met a drink out for a friend. Met a friend for a drink last night at a smoking establishment, and it's like absolutely fried my brain. You don't go into the smoking establishments very much. I don't know why I even picked that place.
Was it a hookah lounge?
No, it was not a hookah lounge. It was just a dive bar where people smoke.
See, hookah over here is ready to go.
Well, he just needs a pouch lounge, some place where you can stick one of those things in your lip and just enjoy the buzz.
I think if it was the halftime crew, I think he would go ahead and hookah up.
He might. Well, maybe we can sell. Hey, get one of those meetings. We'll get a sponsorship sold to a hookah lounge, and we can have an interesting time on Friday next time we talk about that. All right, if we can remember what we got going on today. Yes, it will be Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen at 1:15. We're bringing on Ty Richardson at 12:30 from Bridgestone Arena. I guess by that point, you'll be right in the middle of the Kentucky-Florida basketball game.
Missouri.
And Kentucky and Florida. It's Kentucky and Florida basketball game.
Missouri earlier. Yeah.
I said Missouri earlier because Kentucky beat Missouri
we go.
yesterday. That's right, to make it to where they are. And James Teague for the second time this week from the Teague Law Firm, a little bit of his thoughts on this baseball series with Mississippi State that starts at 6 o'clock tonight. I do wonder, nobody said anything about this, but I know there's a pretty good chance for rain on Sunday. I haven't heard anything about it, but, you got to make sure you get these games in. Maybe, who knows, but there may be a doubleheader tomorrow. Again, I haven't heard anything about that. I'm just talking out loud. But when you see something that looked like, I don't know what it was, 75, 80% chance rain on Sunday during the afternoon with heavy winds, you can kind of do the math for yourself. And in a moment, after this break, we talk with the one and only Aaron Torres and see what's going on in the background. So stay with us. This is Halftime.
Richardson's team, there'll be no one in the 64 looking forward to a matchup against this young group.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Once people tried Taco Bell's new Lux value menu with 10 decadent items, all $3 less, including the new mini taco salad, an edible bowl filled with succulent seasoned beef and dressed with a lavish chipotle crema. They start expecting everything to be as luxe. You're wondering which is the mini taco salad for, aren't you? Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
It's here, the Ultimate Challenge going on at the Lewis Automotive Group, and we're on a mission to sell over 600 vehicles, and we're getting extremely close. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, and more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back all month long. Get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models, and payments starting at only $199 a month. The ultimate savings, the ultimate selection, and the ultimate amount for your trade. The Ultimate Challenge going on only at the Lewis Automotive Group.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
While most people are playing for bragging rights, MyBookie is giving away $100,000 in their Madness Bracket Contest. This is about turning your ball knowledge into bankroll. Head to MyBookie.ag. Use code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. The madness only comes once a year, so don't just watch it, win it. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at
around my waist, I tend to get lost in your eyes. I took a breath, jumped off the cliff because you told me to. Is it love or suicide? Is it love or suicide? Is it love or suicide? Is it love? I try to run.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the Ultimate Challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Now let's get back to halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend Matt Jones.
Joining us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline on a Friday with Arkansas playing basketball later today, their first postseason game. Let's get on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, talk with Aaron Torres from the Aaron Torres Sports Podcast. Aaron Torres Media, Fox Sports Radio, and a Friday regular here on Halftime. I didn't get to tell you Happy March last week, AT, because I was off for the show, so Happy March. You must be really enjoying this.
You know, Phil, March isn't really even a month. It's a mindset. It's you wake up every day, the birds are chirping a little bit louder, the sun is a little bit brighter, the basketball bounces off the hardwood/glass floor a little bit, louder. So listen, in my head, it's been March since basically like 2 or 3 days after Indiana won a football national championship. I know what the calendar says, but I am here. I'm happy to hear from you. I'm ready to talk ball. Actually, let me ask you guys a question because, this week, it's kind of the perfect encapsulation of life right now. There's so much going on. It's impossible to keep up with, blah, 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 blah. Has Coach Cal said anything about the SEC tournament? Because, and Matt and I talked about this a little bit last week, is I don't know that, and maybe he has publicly kind of come out and said it, I don't know if it's the worst thing for the Razorbacks to maybe look good and win a game tonight and maybe look good and maybe not win tomorrow and get an extra day off and not be in Nashville till, 5 p.m. on Sunday. And again, Matt and I talked about it a little bit last week, and I don't want to put any negativity out into the air. But with the short bench, with the short roster, I don't get the sense that Cal would be devastated if it was a shorter stay in Nashville longer than cutting down the nets on Sunday afternoon. Has he said anything about that?
I don't know that he said anything, AT, but I didn't know this, man. And Phil and I talked about this in the first segment. So they're going to tip off about 9 o'clock tonight. And every athlete knows you play a game, it gets over. You don't go to sleep for 4 hours. Like when the game gets over, it's not like you just go to bed 2 hours. You got to hydrate. You got to get your nutrition in. You got to stretch. You got to do all the things Then they play again like in 8 hours. I'm with you. I think it's an old whatever their model is they're doing, they should start the tournament on Monday, and there should always be 24 hours between a tip-off because you're not doing any good service to these kids. We equated it to having a grass football field than doing the AstroTurf football field. It's harder on your joints, harder on your bones. You're spending all this money on your coach and on your team and then you're going to make them play another game in like 9 hours. That's ridiculous.
Well, and it speaks to a couple of things. One, so it does stink. I mean, obviously we know everything's all about TV, but it speaks to what we said is I don't know if it's the worst thing, if it's a shorter rather than longer stay in Nashville. I've also actually been a proponent for years that we should play conference championship games on Sunday. And this is definitely something. I don't know if you guys are going to have a media availability with, I assume there will be some sort of media availability with Cal on Sunday. But if you guys play on Sunday, you should ask him this because this has been something he has said for years, is that playing on Sunday does nothing to help and everything to hurt you. In other words, the committee can say all these right things about everything matters and blah, 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 blah. Listen, human, behavior would just tell you there's not enough time if Kentucky if Arkansas, or it could be Kentucky or it could be Florida, it could be Alabama, it could be whoever, that if they win on Sunday at 3 o'clock, it's just not realistic to be able to evaluate their final win in the context of everything else in the bracket. And so routinely, it seems like whoever's playing on Sunday in the SEC, and it's not just the Calipari coach team. I remember years ago, Buzz Williams at Texas A&M, it was assumed that A&M was in. They get to Sunday in the SEC tournament, they lose and they're out. And so I just bring it up because it's been well known for years that if you play on Sunday, it kind of hurts you in more ways than one. And I have been an advocate of end all the games on Saturday. And by the way, you can play the West Coast games late, have games till 2 a.m., and then spend all day Sunday building up what the bracket is going to look like, who's in, who's out. But it also gives the committee a full 12 hours to evaluate everything they saw on that final day. And I just think, again, the committee can say all the right things, the contingency brackets and this and that. You just can't fully appreciate and evaluate these teams that are finishing their seasons literally an hour or two before the bracket comes out, like in the SEC and some other places as well.
I got to ask your opinion on the Miami, Ohio loss yesterday, which I found fascinating. and Auburn going out too. Because, is Miami really on the bubble with an undefeated season? I mean, I was looking at their resume, and you can't credit them for trying to schedule, can you? I'm reading they try to schedule this school and that school non-conference, couldn't get anybody to agree. So they go out, win every game that they did get to schedule, win the MAC regular season. I've never thought of the MAC as a two-bid league until this year. And then Auburn goes and loses. They don't belong in at all. I'd take Miami, Ohio over Auburn.
All right, so two completely different conversations. If it came down to an either or, I would absolutely take Miami. I'll say this about Miami is, we always complain about the committee, and it seems like more in football, there's like this push, like we shouldn't even have a committee. All they do is screw things up. I think this is a place where I think having a human committee will help. I think having human members in a room looking at a piece of paper, the team finished 31-0 in the regular season, we cannot keep them out. And I think what it really comes down to is a couple things. One is with Miami and with the human element, what you have to sit there and say is pretty simple. One, do you want to be the committee chair that has to go do a day's worth of interviews and explain why Miami of Ohio is out? But to your point, Phil, a team like Auburn, a team like a 14-loss Texas, a team like a 14-loss Indiana is in. You don't. But two, where the human element also comes in is if you leave Miami out, the only question that matters is, why does the regular season matter at all for about 80% of college basketball? In other words, if you play in any of these leagues, why should you even try in the regular season and not just really, wait till the conference tournament, make sure you're fully healthy, all of that. So, I think there's an integrity of the game issue. What I'll say about Auburn, I am going to say something a little bit controversial. I don't think they will be in. But I do think compared to everyone else on the bubble, I wouldn't be crazy offended if they did get in. And I'll try to be quick. And if I'm going long, guys, cut me off. I won't be offended, I promise. But here's the thing. We talk about, the win-loss record. I totally agree. Here's the issue. It's not like we're comparing, in a perfect world, let me say this. The team that would get in instead of Auburn is a team like UNC Wilmington, which went 26-6 and lost in their conference tournament. That's not happening. So essentially what we're comparing Auburn to is a 14-loss Texas, is a 14-loss Indiana. And when you put it in that context, I actually think Auburn has a little bit of a stronger resume, and I would be willing to go to bat for Auburn a little bit more because they did schedule the toughest schedule in college basketball. And what I would add is this. They do have some noteworthy wins. I think that's the thing that people sleep on with Auburn is the idea that they did beat St. John's on a neutral. They did win against Florida. They did beat Arkansas at home. They did beat Kentucky at home. And when you actually look at – now, they have some bad losses, make no mistake. But guess what? Everyone on the bubble has bad losses. But they do have good wins. And I do think it can't – if it is just about totality of losses, I have no problem. But again, when you're talking about a 14-loss Texas, I mean, is there really that big of a difference between an 18-14 Texas team and a 17-16 Auburn team? I don't think so. I bring it all up to say I still don't think Auburn will get in. But again, when you're comparing them to some of these teams that people are saying are on the bubble, I don't think it's as egregious as a lot of people think it is.
Aaron, last week I meant to ask you, I totally spaced and didn't ask you about Nolan Richardson, but there's going to be a statue of Nolan Richardson. It's Nolan Richardson Court. It's Nolan Richardson Drive outside the arena. What is it like in Arkansas? He's endearing. Everybody loves Nolan. All his players love him. He was a player's coach as far as he was hard on him, but he loved him. You don't have a lot of players talking bad about Nolan Richardson. What's the outside look at? What's your thoughts on the way he left, talking about slave ships and everything, how he goes, and then now he's back and he's kind of embraced again. Time heals all wounds. What's your thoughts on the Nolan Richardson statue?
Yeah, I think, from my perspective, I was obviously, watching and monitoring against, for that senior day against Texas. It means more to the folks of Arkansas than I could understand. What I would also say is, like you said, Matt, time heals all wounds. And, without getting, too many different rabbit holes here, like we're all a product of the environment that we grew up in. And I would just bring that up to say, like, Nolan Richardson grew up in a different world than basically any of us know at this time in 2026. And so I bring it up because his opinions in 1998 or 2001 or whenever he was let go were shaped by how he grew up in the 1930s and 40s in a world that most of us don't know. And so I just bring it up because I understand that the actual ending, 25 years ago or so was very acrimonious. But I also, I think it's cool from a distance. Listen, I know it means more to the folks of Arkansas. It's not my place to say why didn't it happen sooner? Should it have happened sooner? Should it have happened at all? But I could tell how much it meant to, however it was, 16,000, 17,000 people in Bud Walton Arena. And I don't think there's any doubt that if you watched that halftime ceremony, how much it meant to Nolan Richardson. And obviously, I think it's pretty cool that his legacy will live on. And obviously, look, only national championship in school history in men's basketball, very much deserved from that perspective as well, from the accomplishment perspective.
Last thing, AT, we got Kentucky, Florida tipping off in just a couple of minutes. You get 3 teams that are trying to win their 3rd game in 3 days, and against teams that have a double bye and have had much better regular seasons. Out of Kentucky, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma, who's got the best chance to move on?
Well, first of all, I'll say, I'm feeling a little funky about that Florida-Kentucky game just because they just played a few days ago. But listen, I don't think Ole Miss stands much of a chance, and I do think with Arkansas, that Oklahoma team is hot. But I think every Arkansas fan that I've seen understands that Oklahoma will beat Arkansas if they don't, if they don't show up ready to play. So I will say sometimes you can be tired, but sometimes momentum can push you through. I'll give you a little bit of a surprise that will probably look dumb within the next 20 minutes. I will take if I have to choose one, I'll take Kentucky. Two wins. They look pretty good yesterday. They played Florida relatively tough. They got a little bit of momentum. If I had to pick one, I would take Kentucky. But I think, honestly, I don't know that any of the 3 actually do get the victory.
Well, I put your feet to the fire, so you had to pick one. And I appreciate you doing that.
I had to pick
and
one.
Always appreciate your time. And looking forward to next Friday when we're going to be right in the middle of the tournament. So let's do it, man. It's your time of the year.
March isn't just a month, it's a mindset. So it is my time of year, and we're going to keep that mindset going into April and maybe even May with the portal. So thank you, guys. And then it'll be college baseball season will be ramping up, so that'll be fun too. Thank you, guys.
You got it. Aaron Torres from the Aaron Torres Sports Podcast, Aaron Torres Media, and Fox Sports Radio. And Matt Jones, it was relatively clear in the background, especially for the second half of the phone call.
Until the very end, I thought maybe he was with our old buddy Fisherman Clay Henry, and that was the puppy barking.
That's right. Yeah. Well, at least none of the pots got dropped. 877-377-6963 to call or text on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Tip-off tonight, anywhere after 8:45. And I don't expect it to be right at 8:45. You'd be at Joe's Grill and Cantina for the game. That's the best place to watch Arkansas basketball. And at Joe's Grill and Cantina, when you are watching the game and you're wearing your Razorback gear, you get half-price apps and cheap taps all throughout the game. Of course, you find fresh-made, homemade chips and salsa every single day, daily Mexican-inspired specials, and happy hour deals from 3 to 6. Joe's Grilling Cantina, great for watching Arkansas basketball, and again, half-price apps and cheap taps if you're wearing your Razorback gear. They're at 74th across from Harps, online at joesfordsmith.com, and we're back with more halftime after the break.
Over half this signing class came from the state of Arkansas. Let me say that again. Over half this high school signing class came from the state of Arkansas.
This is halftime.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Spring is in the air, and the fish are biting, the gobblers are strutting, and the trees are blooming. Gelco Outdoors, your locally owned one-stop shop, is ready to help you get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Stop by and let our friendly staff help you get the gear you need. Gelco Outdoors, your store for hunt, fish, and work. That's what we do. Gelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Gelco Outdoors.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Will your bracket be better than Matt Jones, Derek Ruskin, Tommy Kraft, and the rest of the ESPN Arkansas team? Register at hitthatline.com for the ESPN Arkansas Mach 1 Motorsports Bracket Challenge Motorcycle Madness giveaway. It would not be possible without our presenting sponsors, Moix RV of Arkansas, Butler Furniture, Swift's Jewelry, and Twin Peaks and Rogers. Our bracket challenge is also brought to you in part by Great Garage Doors, Phil Wright Autoplex, Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, Century Bank of the Ozarks, Hirsch Feed and Farm Supply, and West Ark Yamaha.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Here's NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin.
As a race car driver for 40 years, I survived a lot of crashes. Not everyone can run into a wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. Without a seatbelt, I wouldn't be alive today. Now I'm retired, back home in Arkansas driving my pickup. I'm shocked how many people aren't wearing seatbelts. Why risk your life when it only takes 2 seconds to buckle up? Take it from number 6. Buckle up, Arkansas.
A message from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
For you know who, but there's no sign yet. Singing autopilot days, shining ultraviolet rays on this dusty skeleton. I feel akin on a cosmic level.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Oh, who's going to be ready for a bracket challenge starting next week? It's Mach 1 and ESPN Arkansas's bracket challenge, motorcycle madness giveaway. It's a big deal. If you've got the best bracket, we ask you to prove it at hitthatline.com. ESPN Arkansas and Mach 1 Motorsports Bracket Challenge, Motorcycle Madness Giveaway. You got your contest rules at hitthatline.com. And can't wait to start filling out these brackets once we know what the bracket looks like, Matt Jones. Maybe we'll just do one for halftime as well between the three of us.
Ooh, that might win. Just alternate picks. You pick, but we do one bracket for the three.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's right. We'll go. I feel like I want to listen to your picks though, but yeah, it's almost like a.
Well, we got to have a taco.
What's
challenge.
it called when you play somebody else's lie
money?
On golf? No, in golf.
A
you know, the only kind of golf that I could ever play.
Oh, a tight line?
No, when you got a team and you shoot the best shot. A scramble. That's right. We'll do a scramble for these, for our bracket picks. Double D from Bentonville giving us a call. Hey, good morning, Double D. How are you?
Doing great. Hey, just a simple question. What's your best guess for a starting lineup tonight in baseball?
Wow. All right. Let me open up a scorebook here, and I'll give you a thought. Damian Ruiz will bat leadoff. There's a right-handed pitcher that they're throwing today that's Ryan McPherson. So I think when it comes to the right-handed lineup, Dave's going to put Kojal second, Helfrich third. And, man, after that, I think it's I'm not quite sure if you move Cujillo into the 4 spot because it's a righty, or do you want Stewart in there? Stewart's a lefty, so maybe Zach Stewart as long as that groin is good. Aloy after him, then Robinette, then New. And then I don't know who they're going to start at shortstop, honestly. And there might be some changes at third base. Bubba brought it up yesterday. If they really want to get Carter Rutenbar's bat in the lineup, I'm not sure where you play him. Maybe you play him at first base. Reese Robinette has experience at third base. Reese is hitting okay. But you'll lose a little defensively at first base. Because I don't think Carter's ever played there before. It's not saying he can't, but That's gonna be a little bit of a fly in the ointment because you got to have a position to play. There's only one DH, and the DH will be either, I think, Aloy or Stewart. You can't stick Cujillo at first base. I don't think Zach Stewart is a first base. I don't think he's played first base before, so you don't just want to treat first base as like, well, you're going to learn the position today or for the last 2 days. So, man. And then Pompey at shortstop. My expectation is you get him at shortstop for at least the first game instead of Brumbaugh, and then you'll kind of go from there. For see how Pompey does on Friday, and if it doesn't work out, maybe Carson gets the shot. But man, that's also a position you don't want to be mixing and matching at shortstop, just based upon. You know, if a guy's striking out a ton or not making plays, you got to make a change. So. There's a lot going on with that, Double D. It's a lot going on with that. I'll say this, and how our conversation when it comes to the basketball team, Matt, is like, well, they're not as strong in the front court. You're going to end up, playing some team that's got, a couple of big guys and maybe a little bit deeper. And there's so much about, well, how does Arkansas match up against the opponent instead of the idea, well, look, those guys have to play the Razorbacks. That's actually a really good basketball team that Cal has. The thing about this Arkansas baseball team is that the pitching staff is really salty, and that tests this Mississippi State lineup in a way that I wonder if they've really been tested yet for a whole series, because they only have 2 losses. It was a weekend game to number 1 UCLA, but that was one of those Globe Life weekends where you're playing 3 different teams, and then a top 10 Southern Miss team. But this Arkansas pitching staff, I think, has the capability of shutting some teams down. And there's so much focus, Matt, on the lack of hitting for Arkansas at certain spots in the batting order. I think we forget sometimes that this pitching staff can be a problem for other lineups.
You got to do something before it gets too mental. How you change the lineup up? What are you going to do? Buy them all ice cream after a win or something. I don't know. You got to do something. You got to, because if that what I mean by that, Phil, is soon this team's going to have an identity. It's not there yet, but soon that'll be your idea, and then that'll be in the back of their minds because everybody will be like, well, they're a good pitching team, but they can't hit. And then they'll take that with them. So you got to find a way. That's why coaching, man, coaching's a calling. It's so much psychology just as much as anything else. And play good, feel good, play good, look good, play good, vibing good. Everybody has something going on. If used to, you might have a final coming up. Now probably your girlfriend or what. Which I've seen more people in college sports getting married. You see what's up with your boy Travis Hunter out there?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's a bit of a. I don't know.
But there's always something. What I mean is, there's always something in their mind. A college kid, you're 22 years old, and your girlfriend breaks up with you, or your something happens back home, and you haven't seen your mom and dad in 6 months because there's just stuff that these kids are going through. So everything is situational, but that's. And you can't coach all the players the same. You can't yell at some players, and then you can yell at other players, and so it's different how you have to treat this and figure it out. And Van Horn's navigating, because I'm with you and Bubba. I've heard both of you say the talent's there. It's just, can they figure it out? There's talent on this roster.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of talent. What I think. It's not a matter of that it's lacking. It's putting it into motion in the game. It's the knowledge of how to use your skills to where you're maximizing them, because there's no doubt about it. The talent's all there. And I'm not at the place where my mind's made up about this baseball team. We have the same conversation in football season. When is your mind made up? When is this team, when are they what they're going to be? Like, when do you stop? Like, we got to improve our defense with the football team. Well, that never really happened. I'm not anywhere near that yet. I remember getting to that spot 2 seasons ago when it became apparent that it was just not going to be a team that you could count on to score 5 or 6 runs a game. And that wasn't until, I'd say, the middle to late April. So I'll have my opinion solidify over the next month. I love the idea of taking them all out to ice cream. I've seen basketball teams do that. I've seen with women's basketball team. I'll tell you this, Matt. I don't think I've ever seen the baseball team stop together for ice cream, but I have seen the women's basketball team stop for frozen custard. Yeah, that's what they did.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden I want something tart. Pardon me. Yeah, and I like what he is saying here, Seth. He says, I hope Gabe has his stuff tonight, meaning Gabe Gackle. I do too. Because even I mean, look at Gackle's numbers. They're good. 2-1, 4 starts. 261 earned run average, 6 walks, 27 strikeouts, and just under 21 innings. That's really good. The number that does stick out, though, is he's allowing a 263 batting average, which is a little high for an ERA of 261. So that does make me feel like that 2.61 ERA, while it's a real thing, it might be a little bit of a mirage. And this Mississippi State team, man, I mean, they average almost 11 runs per game. They're hitting 354. I mean, they're getting almost 2.5 base runners per inning. It's much different than any team that Gabe has pitched against yet, at anywhere close to it. So I hope he's got his good stuff today too, Seth. And if he does, even if he does, this is the kind of lineup that can kind of wear a pitcher down. But who comes out of the pen first? Well, that's going to depend on the score. If Arkansas has the lead in like the 6th inning, you're going to see Cole Gibbler up in that bullpen immediately. And then Gibbler's the guy they're going to want to close that game. And if they got a chance to win it on a Friday to start SEC play, especially after losing 2 in a row, they'll go right for the jugular. Dave will try to manage to win every single game and not worry about tomorrow. All right, we will break here in a moment. Before we do that, I want to remind you about North Arkansas Regional Medical Center. They bring better to you all across north central Arkansas, serving 5 counties, totaling 95,000 people, 18 clinics, including 3 rural clinics. They feature a dedicated medical team of physicians, nurse practitioners, and physician assistants that specialize in internal medicine, family practice, obstetrics, general and specialty surgery, orthopedics, women's health, oncology, urology, hospice, and home care. That's North Arkansas Regional Medical Center. Learn more at narmc.com, and we'll wrap up hour number 1 of halftime after this break.
This is halftime.
Spring is in the air, and the fish are biting, the gobblers are strutting, and the trees are blooming. Jelco Outdoors, your locally owned one-stop shop, is ready to help you get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Stop by and let our friendly staff help you get the gear you need. Jelco Outdoors, your store for hunt, fish, and work. That's what we do. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory, and we're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and back-to-back comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. Got a lot going on during the week. I really don't want to leave the office, but my stomach's still growling. Thankfully, my buddy Mitchell introduced me to DK Fit Meals. David and his team put together incredible meal preps for me each and every week. Mitchell, I'm sure glad you recommended DK Fit Meals.
And with Arkansas basketball season underway, finding time to cook every night just isn't that easy. So with DK Fit Meals, I've got meals that are ready to go in just a matter of minutes. Find your flavor at dkfitmeals.com. That's dkfitmeals.com. So easy, even Ty can do it. Fuel your life with DK Fit Meals.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at goforsgren.com.
When a business has been around more than 65 years, you know they're doing something right. Hey, Ty Richardson for Johnny's Transmission. They've been trusted in Fort Smith and the River Valley since 1959. Located at 1212 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, they strive to make every customer's experience outstanding and want your vehicle to be in the best condition for the road ahead. Check out their website, johnnystransmissionfs.com, and find them on Facebook. Johnny's Transmission, family owned and operated since 1959.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
She was terminally pretty. She had some he had a reputation as a cruel dude that said he was
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
David in Fort Smith says, we were talking about the baseball team, get him something to eat, some ice cream. Says, have to treat them what they were like in Little League. I told one of the kids I used to coach, you've got to pay attention. What are you out here for? And his reply was, I'm here for the icy after the game, coach. Now, there's some honesty. There's some honesty from your players. He's not there to learn. He's not there to play. He's not even there to enjoy the game. He's just there for the icy. Thank you very much. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. If you want to call or you want to text, here is a fake story that is coming in on the text line from Suey Fan in Fort Smith. I can tell this is a Facebook story that has been screenshotted, and if it is a Facebook story from an account that is called Razorback Court Kings, then it is 100% fake, and just file that away in the back of your brain and remember that. Malik Thomas is not donating his entire recent NIL earnings and sponsorship income to support the funeral arrangements for 4 of the 6 U.S. servicemen that were killed in a drone strike. So yeah, just you got to probably. I would recommend that if you're on Facebook and you see any account that's got a name like that, Razorback Court Kings, just put an X on it, unfollow it, don't ever look at it because it's only going to give you a bunch of bull crap, okay? And I guess that's your realism portion of the show, at least for a moment. Another
on this
yes?
on this day, 1998. The Bryce Drew shot happened. We all remember the Bryce Drew shot, right?
Now 98
now? 98 is when it happened. Yep.
The middle, it says March 13th, and we don't even know what the bracket looks like right now. I didn't even realize that the tournament has it really changed that much? That was
opening
what
weekend,
round was
so
that?
Opening week, first round. Opening weekend will be next, so we're a week. They've changed it back a week.
It's 1 week. Yeah. Wow, I don't remember who it was that he beat, but that was Valpo.
They beat
Valpo. I forget who he beat, but I remember everybody remembers the pylon, and you can see Bryce right there on his stomach and his hands out and everything. Yeah,
they beat Mississippi.
One of the all-time great shots. They beat Mississippi. Ole Miss, man, they almost 3-point shot foul at half court with 3 seconds left. It almost cost him, but it ended up not costing them. And I'm sure that made Unit happy because Blue Cane didn't have a run in Nashville. We come back for hour number 2 of halftime, so stay with us.
The spring kickoff sale is coming to Sutherland's March 21st. And Ruskin and Zach, we're crashing the party a day early on Friday, March 20th. Live from 2 to 6 to get you ready for lawn season. Trees, shrubs, and tropical plants, 40% off with Garden Club. 10-inch deluxe hanging baskets were $12.99, now $6.99. 3-gallon shade trees, special regularly $49.99, only $12.99. There'll be plant seminars, other special offers, and food and drinks provided by the Lions Club. Ruskin and Zach will be live at Sutherland's, 1801 South Zero Street in Fort Smith, Friday, March 20th from 2 to 6. Sutherland's, no matter the project, here to help because at Sutherland's, home starts here.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook where you can check out their work.
10 years ago, True Grit Running Company opened its doors with one simple goal: to help people move better, feel stronger, and find their stride. Today, we're celebrating 10 years of True Grit. Join us all year long for anniversary events, group runs, limited edition gear, and plenty of surprises as we kick off 2026. Whether you're chasing a finish line or just starting your journey, thank you for being part of our story. True Grit Running Company, 10 years strong, built by runners.
From the trail to the track, Wheeler Power Sports has been taking care of riders for generations. We're your factory-authorized home for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, KO, and the three-wheeled Slingshot. Looking for used bikes? We have a massive pre-owned inventory, and we're buying. Plus, check out our huge selection of apparel and accessories to gear up for your next ride. Follow us on Facebook to see the latest sales on Polaris Rangers and Kawasaki Z-Series bikes. Wheeler Power Sports and the Wheeler family, taking care of riders for generations in historic downtown Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
A beautiful finish to the work week today with lots of sunshine, highs around 70, west to northwest winds at 5 to 15 miles an hour. Mostly clear tonight with lows in the mid-40s. Sunny for Saturday and a little bit warmer with highs in the mid-70s. Increasing clouds Saturday night with lows in the mid-50s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor. Located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming to you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Is vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963.
Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Well, welcome back in. Halftime continues. This is ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing. Our Lewis Automotive Group hotline is open for you at 877-377-6963. Let me just kind of get a look if I can find the score here of this Kentucky and Florida basketball game, which tipped off about 30 minutes ago, or it should have tipped off about 30. I don't have a score on ESPN. The SEC Network is showing something else, so it's interesting. We got an issue with the game because here we have a text from Wookie Erotica in Fayetteville that says he hears Matt Zimmerman on a different station and he's calling the Florida-Kentucky game. But that's what Z does this time of the year, Wookie. Last year, I remember Zim was calling a few basketball games in Nashville with Craig Way, the longtime voice of the Texas Longhorns. But it wasn't a Texas game. I mean, they've got the SEC radio network, which is set up by Learfield. Learfield owns the Razorback Sports Network. Of course, that's who Zim works for when it comes to basketball and football season. So they'll throw in some of their own announcers, which also includes some of the guys back in studio that you might hear during halftime or post-game show. But then there is Z, and I mean Zim is absolutely perfect for something like that because he knows all these teams. He knows the SEC in and out. He knows the officiating about as well as anybody else, and makes sense, right? Zim calling Florida and Kentucky, but also calling it right down the middle, literally right down the middle, because if you're on that SEC network, you're supposed to be unbiased. So if you're Matt and you know you've got a little bias in the back of your head, I wonder how he's going to call that game, Matt, because Florida versus Kentucky, I have a feeling just with all the stuff with Kentucky, at least in the back of Matt's mind, he'd be leaning a little towards Florida, maybe a little bit.
How cool, man! I like listening to Coaches E call games, man. That'd be yeah.
Oh, here we go. It's because the game's tipping off in 7 minutes. There we go. 12 o'clock, 12:07. That's why it hasn't tipped off yet. So he's just doing the starting lineups instead. That's great. Zim's having fun doing it. And speaking of fun, we got a couple of callers here at 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Charlie the Tuna is here just before tip-off. What's up, Charlie? How are you?
Well, when I'm leading off in front of somebody, I know I got to be like really good, or I'm gonna get hung up on, or whatever. So I got to be decent here. Matt, have you ever considered being that? Have you ever thought about that? You think you could call a game? You think you could pull that? I mean, you could pull it off, but would you ever do that? Was going to be my question. You think you could?
I wouldn't even
get
know.
up?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like what I do right now. I've never been asked to do that, so I wouldn't even know where to start.
Well, you know, Phil is like the lead. I always say he's the lead guy, and Bubba wouldn't do well without. See, Bubba needs Phil as much as Phil needs Bubba. So, you know, I would think you could pull off if Phil was leading the way. I could see it, but
I think that would be great as an analyst for football or basketball, truthfully.
I
would
agree.
be terrific at it.
I actually do too, especially when you're talking about breaking it down, you know, X, Y, and Z. But anyway, Matt can do whatever he wants. But anyway, or he could just keep doing what he's doing now. I mean, it is what it is. Guys, as far as tonight goes, man, I was really looking. Oklahoma smoked those guys last night too, and you know, I got to give them credit the way they're playing right now. And again, the more desperate team, I expect to fight. I don't think this is going to be easy at all. And I mean, even Duke last night. You get in these tournaments, man. You know, anything can happen. I think Duke just survived, if I'm not mistaken. The one they got by 1 point, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, anything can happen in these things. And again, I don't know when you're talking. I mean, we talk about who's more desperate and all that, but when you get out there and you start competing, that's the thing. You know, everybody wants to do that. The main thing for me is obviously the health of the team, going in there playing hard, you know, trying to find a way to win one. Now, Matt, you had pointed this out. If they do win this game, they got to turn around and play what time the next day? It's like early, right? Isn't that how it works? If
3
you're
o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, that's tough, man. That's definitely tough. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited about it. I'm more excited. I really want to see, you know, what this baseball team, you know, does this weekend. You know, talking about Mississippi State right now, and I think Dave said it, that might be one of the better teams in the SEC right now. I don't know who else is them in Texas, maybe, Phil. I haven't really watched a lot of Georgia or any of them, but I have seen Texas play too. So I don't know who's playing better. So it's going to be interesting to see how this team responds. Phil, I wanted to throw one thing in there before I get off. The one thing about last year's team that I thought was really impressive was the ability to continue to fight in counts. And Bubba always talks about good at bats. Even when they would get 2 strikes, those guys would just fight. I can't remember how many times they'd be down in the count, fight, and might even draw a walk at the end of it. Maybe that's another thing. This team is lacking that too. And we got to find a way to, as Bubba said, get the pitch counts up of people and, you know, fight and get back. Even if you get down in the count, don't just, you know, you got to fight some pitches off. And I think that would be big for this, especially the guys that we count on, you know, Ryder, Cahillo, Cam. I don't know if hitting is contagious. I would say it is sometimes, but then again, it's individual. Maybe if some of those guys at the bottom of the lineup get going, it'll help everyone. I don't know, but we'll see. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Charlie. I think getting Stewart back will help a lot. If you're, and I think he really could end up by the end of the season leading the team in RBIs, maybe home runs. I mean, he's starting a little bit back just because he's been hurt a couple of games, but plenty of power. And to me, he seems like the kind of batter that kind of ties it all together. And look, I mean, Mississippi State and Texas right now would be looked at as the best SEC teams out of non-conference play. I don't think Texas has played anybody, truthfully. Well, they're undefeated, so that's got to stand for something, but I really don't think they've played anybody. Mississippi State has 2 losses. And those 2 losses are to number 1 UCLA in a 10-inning, 8-7 game, and then they lost to Southern Miss by 1 run. And Southern Miss is top 10. So Texas may have the better record. I think Mississippi State has faced better competition overall. But the best right now, well, UCLA is number 1, so I'd say maybe Arkansas would be the second best team that they've played. Then again, Southern Miss is pretty good. I saw a projection. They all, the baseball people do NCAA tournament projections in January, for crying out loud. It's hilarious. But I saw one yesterday that had Arkansas going to Southern Miss, and that could legitimately be a thing. Like if Arkansas has to go on the road, Southern Miss right now looks like a juggernaut in the Sun Belt. You could end up going to Hattiesburg for a regional. Ryan in Hot Springs next up, Lewis Automotive Group Hotline. Good afternoon, Ryan. How are you?
Oh, doing pretty good. Have y'all by chance been keeping up with any of the stuff between the Tennessee Titans and the reason why I asked that is because Tennessee just put out their new jerseys, and you can definitely tell it is a middle finger to Houston. And I'm just wondering, is there a more petty, what's the word, front office anywhere? I mean, they've been squabbling over those colors and that scheme for probably 3 or 4 years now. And
man, that really does look like Oiler colors. You're not kidding, Ryan. I had no idea about this. That's Love You Blue right there.
Well, here's the other thing too. So and I'm gonna tie it into Houston too. So the University of Houston put out, I think either last year or the year before, they actually had Houston Oilers colors because that's actually that city's official color. I didn't know that until this happened, but my understanding is the front office put a cease and desist order out on the college over their uniforms, and Houston said, no, we're not doing it. And they wound up, so they wore those colored uniforms for a game, and so there's been a big back and forth over it. And this rebrand, I really think, is a middle finger to the city of Houston. And I guess there's some bad blood there from, I guess, when they moved. I guess is the only I can think. But I was just wondering.
Well, I think part of it is also that the Titans retained the whole. It's different. Like when the Cleveland Browns moved to Baltimore, they didn't get to keep any of the Cleveland Browns stuff.
Right.
I think that was part of the settlement, was that the city essentially kept the history of the Browns, but the history of the Oilers moved to Tennessee with the franchise.
Right.
So they have all of those, all of the trademarks and everything. And I know they do it they wear the old Derrick logo on the helmet sometimes.
Right, and they made sure. Well, and like last year, they made sure to wear the throwback when Houston came to the Titans last year or the year before. They made sure to do it at a home game there in Nashville. So like I said, there's some drama there that's kind of funny or interesting to kind of keep up with a little bit. But hey, I hope y'all have a great day, and let's go win tonight in both baseball and basketball, and let's have a good day and go Hogs.
I'd love it. Softball too. I forgot about softball earlier today. That's thank you very much, Ryan. 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Yeah, Matt, you got to get a look at at those new Titans uniforms. That is not the same blue that the Titans have had all those years. That looks, if you didn't see the logo on the side of the helmet and you didn't see the word Titans on the jersey, you might think they're the Houston Oilers. You could throw Warren Moon in there and
Ernie Gibbons.
Oh my God! Was he the guy?
Drew Hill.
Who was the receiver? I don't. Maybe you'll remember this. Maybe you won't. Every time he'd score a touchdown, he'd spike the ball and then do almost like
Johnson.
No, it was an electric, kind of like an electric early '90s discotheque move, whatever. I don't know. I think it might have been Gibbons. I really do think that's the guy that did that. I always think about him. Jerry Glanville's always the guy I think about too. Love You Blue. It's a good city rivalry. I mean, they're in the same division. You got one city got the other team's. You got the other city's team. The Texans, have been the better team in that division for a long time. But it's fun when cities hate each other. So I grew up with that with Pittsburgh and Cleveland. The thing is that Pittsburgh and Cleveland have hated each other for over 2 centuries. I think the Nashville Houston thing is still fairly new-ish. We'll break here on halftime, and we'll be joined by James Teague from the Teague Law Firm, former Arkansas pitcher. That's next on halftime.
The University of Arkansas and Nolan Richardson's team. There'll be no one in the 64 looking for.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Once people tried Taco Bell's new Lux Value Menu with 10 decadent items, all $3 or less, including the new mini taco salad, an edible bowl filled with succulent seasoned beef and dressed with a lavish chipotle crema, they started expecting everything to be as Lux. You're wondering which is the mini taco salad for, aren't you? Taco Bell's new Lux Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
It's here, the ultimate challenge going on at the Lewis Automotive Group, and we're on a mission to sell over 600 vehicles, and we're getting extremely close. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, and more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back all month long. Get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models, and payments starting at only $199 a month. The ultimate savings, the ultimate selection, and the ultimate amount for your trade. The ultimate challenge going on only at the Lewis Automotive Group.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
While most people are playing for bragging rights, MyBookie is giving away $100,000 in their Madness Bracket Contest. This is about turning your ball knowledge into bankroll. Head to MyBookie.ag. Use code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. The madness only comes once a year. So don't just watch it, win it. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E. from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
Leaves are falling all around. Time I was on my way. Thanks to you, I'm much obliged. Such a pleasant stay. But now it's time for me to go. The autumn moon lights my way. Now I smell the rain, and with it, hey, and it's heading my way.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
6 o'clock first pitch tonight at Paul Walker Stadium for the first of 30 SEC baseball games. The Hogs taking on Mississippi State, and first time they'll play the Bulldogs since 2024. So we'll go to the Lewis Automotive Hotline, and let's talk baseball here with James Teague.
Hey, it's former Hog James Teague.
Teague comes running in, throws a fastball in the corner, drops a breaking ball in there, and is now way ahead of the count.
Join me on Halftime Fridays at 12:15 to talk Hog baseball, and come see me at the Teague Law Firm for any legal matter you need handled. You know what we always say, if we can't help you, we'll talk baseball.
The 1-2. He struck him out swinging.
James, great to have you on as always. Rubber meets road when you start playing SEC teams. Well, when you first made an appearance against an SEC team, you could tell pretty quickly the step up in competition, couldn't you?
Oh, for sure. It was pretty quickly you understood that the stuff you had before, you're not getting by these guys. My first appearance was against Ole Miss, and I was like, man, I just threw that right where I wanted, and he either didn't swing at it or he hit it off or hit it pretty hard at somebody. So you can tell when the competition steps up for sure.
So what makes getting through an SEC lineup so difficult? The thing I always hear is that they make you pay for your mistakes. Is there more to it?
I think they're just more disciplined, too. I think that's actually the bigger issue because guys can hit the ball hard, and you can still get them out. But when you have guys who won't chase and who you're good breaking balls and you're ahead of the count, they don't chase them, or your fastball's off the plate, they spit on, or the fastball's up. Now you're forced to come into the zone. Now you're forced to give them pitches that they can hit to try to, get back in the count. And then when you make mistakes on those pitches, that's when they capitalize. So I think them capitalizing your mistakes are a byproduct of them not swinging at pitches that maybe lesser talent would swing at.
I wonder how you feel about the fact that this is the first time Arkansas has played Mississippi State since 2024. And usually when you had divisions, you knew the teams that you played against because you played them every single year. And Arkansas had played Mississippi State every year, once joining the SEC up until last season. And honestly, that feels like a program that Arkansas should be playing every year. I'd put that along with LSU and Texas, but that's not the way the schedule works. I love divisions for baseball. I like divisions for football, too. I wonder how you feel about that. It's not like we're going back to it, James, because this is the world that the SEC has chosen.
Yeah, I'm kind of indifferent on it, honestly. I think it all, over the longer period of time will kind of shape up. You sometimes are the beneficiary of not playing teams who are really good. And then on the flip side, sometimes you feel like you get stuck with the teams who are consistently dominating. It kind of always feels that way with LSU. But, just with the ebb and flow of programs, I think it all averages out.
When you're on a pitching staff, and I don't know if maybe you were on a team like this with Arkansas or when you're playing professionally. And there has been, at least to right now, just a big difference between the performance of the lineup 1 through 9 and the pitching staff, whether it's starters or bullpen. Right now it's a pitching-led team. Do you think a pitching staff feels pressure when the offense struggles to produce?
I don't think so, because the pitchers are just trying to keep their own job. Ultimately they're trying to win, but if you go out there and you give up 6 runs and the offense scores 7, you're thrilled that you won, but you don't feel great about your performance, and you especially don't know if you're going to have your spot next weekend. Same for the bullpen. You give up 2 or 3 and you don't throw real well, but the offense dominates. Well, that doesn't really help the staff and doesn't really secure your spot. So the ultimate goal is obviously to win, but guys are trying to not give up runs, whether the team's scoring 20 runs or 0.
What do you think about this Arkansas starting rotation for the weekend? Dave said he's keeping it intact. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I think it's proven to be good. We've seen a lot of good stuff out of Saturday. We've seen some lefty with Gibler coming out of the bullpen on Sunday, and then it's still giving Gackle the opportunity to prove what he can be and to see how his stuff stacks up against SEC talent. So I like where we're at on the starting rotation.
How have you felt about Gackle? I got into it a little bit earlier. We had a text on the text line saying, I hope Gabe has his good stuff. And maybe velocity's been down a little bit, but when you look at some of the numbers here, 2.61 ERA, James, that's really good. 27 strikeouts, 6 walks, just under 21 innings. That's really good. But I see a 2.63 batting average allowed and 7 extra base hits in those 4 games, and I do wonder a little bit, and I can hear in your voice too, you're kind of wondering, I think a lot of people are wondering about Gabe for a Friday night, even though so many of those numbers show that he's been pitching fairly well.
I mean, that's kind of the problem with Friday night. It's kind of like being president. There's always something you could be doing better, and you're kind of the go-to guy. And so, Friday night position, there's the margin for error is extremely small. When, if all things being equal, those are great numbers. But for your Friday starter who you want to go out and give it a chance to dominate, especially in non-conference, I think if you put those numbers up in conference, nobody would bat an eye. But I think what gives people hesitation is they think, he's putting up pretty good numbers in non-conference. How is that going to stack up against a ranked team who is, just objectively a better hitting team than the people he's been facing? And so I think that's the hesitation there. Some guys just step up their game. For me, as it got warmer and as the season went on, the command got better, the stuff got better, and the fastball had more velocity. Gabe may be the same, he may be a little different, but I got better as the season went on, and so even though the competition got better, it kind of averaged out. So that's I think to be determined for Gackle as we get into conference play.
8 pitchers on this staff, James, are allowing a batting average of below 200. That's 8 of them. And this is not a staff that walks a lot of batters. They throw collectively. They've got good velocity. Collectively, they've got great breaking stuff, good off speed, tons of strikes. They fill the strike zone and still don't allow a high bat. The team's batting average against is 199, James. So, I mean, do you think there's another level for the staff? Can they get even better?
I think it's just a matter of keeping those same numbers, better competition, the same or similar numbers. And I'm with you. I was almost most impressed by the walk numbers. I think the zones have been a little bit tighter in the last couple of years than maybe they were before that, and the walks are still way down. And so you're right, guys are throwing it over the plate. You think, well, if guys are throwing over the plate, are they getting hit more? And the numbers speak for themselves. They're really not. And if the staff is able to produce at that level or a level close to it in conference, I think it's going to keep us in enough games to where we're one big hit away. We've had dominant teams in the past to where the difference of winning an extreme amount of games, not just 40 games, but maybe 45 or 46, was just that one hit. And so if our staff can keep us in the game, and we can get those timely hits, we're going to win a lot of those close games.
James, of course, joining us every Friday to talk Arkansas baseball. James was a former Arkansas pitcher, and of course, right now he is with the Teague Law Firm. Has been for 4 years. You can call them at 479-877-1688, specializing in family law, bankruptcy, wills and estates, personal injury, criminal defense, and corporate law. And James, I know you want to talk about paternity, which Teague Law Firm helps out with very much.
Yeah, I've had the conversation with people that say, people are getting married less. Is business slowing down? Or, there's not as much family law issues. And I say, well, they may be getting married less, but they're procreating just as much. And so, when that's the case, you have a paternity case where you have a child born outside of the marriage. And the question is, what's the visitation schedule? Boyfriend and girlfriend have a child and they break up, or maybe not even boyfriend and girlfriend, but what do we do? What's the visitation schedule? Is child support owed? Is there retro child support owed? I mean, there's a lot of questions that people have. And we do a lot of those cases, and sometimes those cases are actually easier because the issues are limited. We're not dealing with a lot of property. We're not dealing with a lot of distractions. We can focus in on custody, visitation, and support. And so, those cases are about a third of my caseload now. We do a lot of them and I really enjoy them.
James, last thing I want to ask you about, and we had Coach Van Horn on yesterday. He just fourth grandchild was born last week, and he said that his grandpa name is Coach, which makes a lot of sense. What's Robert's grandpa name?
So it's funny that you asked. I brought my son into the office yesterday, just grabbing some stuff, and he saw my dad, and he goes, "Big Papi!" And so my dad is named after David Ortiz. He is Big Papi, and that's P-A-P-I. And so
that just means he's going to have to spit on his hands and smack them together before he walks into the house every day, right?
Exactly. And so one of the judge's assistants called and said, "Who's going to be trying this case? Is it James or Big Papi?" So his name has now circulated all the way into the court system.
That's fantastic, James. I'm glad I asked.
Yeah, no, it's
Man.
perfect timing.
Oh, that's hilarious. You'll always talk to a real lawyer at the Teague Law Firm, 479-877-1688. James, it's always a pleasure. Hopefully we're talking about a series win next week.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to it. And then hopefully we got some good news to report on next Friday, but look forward to it.
Absolutely. All right, stay with us. We'll have Ty Richardson joining us from Bridgestone Arena next on Halftime.
Fundraise, 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 fundraise.
This is Halftime.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus lots of fun choices, like ping pong, right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Get $250 on us with your first $25 wager.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
It's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of Arkansas and Southwest Missouri is offering 20% off Pella products or 0% APR for 72 months. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends March 31st, 2026.
He hit it over the video board. It's swimming with the fishes.
This is Halftime.
Has your spouse suddenly entered the transfer portal, going from a franchise player to a prima donna ready to take the money and run? Don't let her get away with a huge buyout. Be proactive. Call Mock Legal Solutions today to ask about custody, alimony, and child support. 479-769-1505. Because even in divorce, the best offense is a good defense. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
I think we should start seeing people.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory, and we're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and back-to-back comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust a team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here with Xerox's Connect Key technology and cloud connectivity. Xerox offers seamless integration, top-notch security, and unmatched efficiency to help your business stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your home. If your garage door needs repair or you're ready for a new look, call Precision Garage Door. From broken springs and openers to brand new doors, they provide expert service and professional installation. Fully licensed and insured, with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers, and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call 844-PDS-DOOR or visit PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Precision Garage Door, voted the best in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
It's the all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet at Golden Corral. Enjoy the endless breakfast buffet with carved ham, tender pork chops, pancakes, French toast, made-to-order eggs and omelets, and, of course, the biscuits and gravy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And from 8 to 9:30, seniors get all this and a drink for $10.29. Golden Corral, 1801 South Waldron, Fort Smith. Order online at goldencorral.com for curbside pickup or delivery. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You stay. Can't keep away.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Listen to this last night. This is after Oklahoma pulled off their win, and Porter Moser is walking down the stairs from the SEC network setup inside Bridgestone Arena, and he's got a Razorback fan watching him. And he's at the very bottom of his beer. And so this is post-game, so who knows what number beer it was.
See how it feels about playing Hawks tomorrow.
Good job, Porter. Thanks, you guys. Good luck.
Hey, Porter, take it easier on us tomorrow than you did the last time, man.
That's right.
Rest a cup for the tournament, please.
Rest.
Please tell me you got that on video.
Oh, he did get it on video. What beer was that? Oh, Ty Richardson is joining us right now on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Was that you, Ty? Nah, that wasn't you,
It was Sneed. Yeah, I actually know that guy. No, that was a funny interaction. I guess Sneed was too drunk to remember that Arkansas won the last game that they played at Norman. But
take it easy on it. They did get it. You jumped out of the gates quickly in that game, just like they did last night.
Yeah, Nigel Pack was really good. I think he had six or so threes in that game. He hit several last night. It's not gonna be easy to walk in the park. I know Arkansas is like a 6.5 point favorite or so, but this is not gonna be an easy game for the Razorbacks.
Of course not. Of course it's not. I mean, no tournament game ever really comes across as it's going to be easy, especially when you play in a team that's. It's not just these last two games for Oklahoma. I know the idea of building momentum in a tournament, but they've got like a month's worth of momentum here. This kind of maybe it's not quite like A&M from, what was that, 3 years ago? World's smallest violin for Buzz's team. Do you think OU is in?
I wouldn't put money on it. Some people would say yes, some people would say no. I know that Stephen Pearl made his case last night after they lost to Tennessee, or I guess yesterday afternoon. I would guess that if Porter Moser, they lose tonight to Arkansas, I should say, he's going to be probably got the notes out and pushing for it. But no, I would not put money on it, Phil.
Mm-hmm. What do you make of Auburn? When do you make of that situation? Man?
Well,
I don't know if you could see this coming from the beginning of the season, the way that Bruce maneuvered Steven into the head coaching job, but the way this season has finished is sort of perfect for the way it started.
Oh, it's fitting. I mean, Nepo Pearl didn't know what he was getting into, and you had so many guys. I mean, they lost Cardwell, they lost Janai Broom. There was another guard I think they lost in that team. And I know they kept Pettiford and they brought in Hall, but I mean, Auburn's not an easy basketball job. Bruce Pearl made it what it is, and it's become a really good team and a really good program in this league. But that's because of Bruce Pearl. I think it would be great to see Auburn left out of the tournament field come Sunday, but I think that they might get. I will give them this. They played and Arkansas had a tough non-conference schedule too, but their schedule is brutal. And guys, they have the best win in college basketball, going on the road to Gainesville. That's really hard to dispute in my mind. So they might get in because of that win in Gainesville a while back.
Seen a lot of Razorback fans throughout the last day or two.
Man, there's been a lot, even on Wednesday. So I get here Wednesday, and I'm just kind of walking around near the arena, and I passed probably 10 or 15 of them. And I was like, wow, all right, they're showing up early. I mean, you know how it is, Phil. If you have a chance to go to Nashville for a few more days, if you can take off work and you save a few more shekels, you're gonna try and do that.
I don't mind. I mean, we've had years where we've had the SEC tournament in Nashville, we've had a women's basketball game in Nashville, and we've had baseball in Nashville. Yeah, I mean, that's almost a perfect year.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, and you think about today's setup. I mean, there's some really good games that you have. I'm really excited to see what happens in this Vanderbilt and Tennessee game and up shortly. I think I'm going to end up going to that. But obviously excited for the primetime 1 to 9. And I think there's going to be a lot of fans. I was telling Tommy this, Phil. I think there's going to be a lot of fans that aren't Arkansas or Oklahoma fans that stay and watch this game because A-Cup is that type of player you don't want to miss in person.
You give Ole Miss much of a shot against Alabama? We all want to see Arkansas, Alabama take two. We really do. Though I'm sort of with Matt as well here. It's like, well, you're going to win. You're going to play a game that's going to tip off at probably 9 o'clock tonight, and then you got to turn around and you got to play at like 3 o'clock tomorrow, probably against Alabama in that case, which, I mean, we want to see that game, but at the same time, it's like, rest would be nice, but I don't think you got to go win this game. I think this is a really important game. But what do you give on Ole Miss's chances against Alabama? Because I don't give them much.
About maybe a little less than what I give Oklahoma tonight against Arkansas. I think Alabama is going to run them out of the gym tonight, honestly. And give Chris Beard credit for getting his team 2 wins in and getting them to Friday, but they're just outmatched athletically and really from a skill position standpoint. So I think that it could be an ugly one, which actually is good because that means the Arkansas game will start earlier, guys.
That's true. What do you know about what's different about Oklahoma from when Arkansas played them? Because that was January 27th. Arkansas is a different team from then. Billy played under 18 minutes. Carter Knox started that game. This is a different Razorback team too. What do you know about OU being? What's the difference between them now and then?
So it's their defense, and it hasn't just been in the SEC tournament here in Nashville, but they've really picked it up. That's what Bruce Pearl has been really, really happy about as of late. A lot of times, I think there was only one time in the last 6 games that they've allowed more than 80 points in a game. So they have really, I think it's actually 7 games. So that's what he's been really proud of. I think they've won, it's either 8 of 10 or 9 of 11. So Florida's the hottest team in this league, guys, and they're the best. But you could make a case that Arkansas is going up against the second hottest team in this league tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who's anybody on that? I know Pack had the 6 threes and 22 points and everything, but did they? What's Oklahoma's inside presence like? Because I know that's the thing that you want to talk about Arkansas in a way that's not glowing. Well, it's going to be the front court, I guess.
I think that if I remember correctly, the Tay Carter kid is the one that's one of their big guys Tay Davis. And he's a little nicked up like Pack is. So that would be the one to watch in terms of Arkansas. And hopefully you'll get, some solid out. We got some solid outings lately from Malik Ewan. Hopefully him and Pringle will set the tone along with TB starting tonight at around 8:45 or so.
You got Florida right now. Oh, they just took the score off the TV. 28-20. Florida up with about 6 minutes left in the first half. that's a game Florida will pull away. Or don't you think? They're going to pull away in the second half. I mean, that's I'd expect to see that maybe with about 15 minutes left in that game. It's so tough winning 3 games in a row, and then you go up against what the team is going to be a number 1 seed in Florida.
Yeah, and hey, the good thing is for the Arkansas fans listening, I know we got all of them. Kentucky loses, there are going to be some seats open, and I mean, Kentucky Fayetteville travels really well, and with them going down, I would expect today, kind of like you do, Phil. I think that if you have any inclination to come to Nashville and watch this team maybe on Saturday and Sunday, the ticket's going to be a lot cheaper than it would be if Big Blue Nation was still in town.
I saw Providence fired Kim English after the loss to St. John. I think he was only there 2 or 3 years. I remember he always went at Muss when he was an assistant at Tennessee, right?
Yeah, I liked him so much in Missouri, and then he became a head coach or an assistant and a head coach, and I just did not like him. But that's yeah, there were some Arkansas fans that did not like English based on those comments and the stuff with Tennessee.
Is it's 3 years in a row that a Muss-coach team does not make the NCAA tournament. You know, what do you look? I mean, we all kind of looked at him jumping to USC, and we're like, well, I get it. You're a California guy. That's USC. It makes sense, but I don't know. It hasn't. I don't know if it's gone the way that I'm sure it hasn't gone the way that Muss or USC would have hoped for just yet. But he gets a little bit more time. Why do you think, such great success at Arkansas, at Nevada, but has kind of run into a little? It's just 2 years, but a little bit of a wall in those 2 years.
Well, I think for you, the travel. I know Musselman's talked about that, and Mick Cronin and some others. And like there's some teams like Michigan that are having success in the Big Ten, but I think that wears on you a little bit. And like Arkansas's the debatably second or third best job in the SEC and one of the top 10, 15 jobs in college basketball. USC's probably 50-something, 40-something. I mean, there's just a difference. And I listen, when he left, I wasn't mad. Like I was disappointed because I thought he was a really good coach and a really good fit. But then you walked into a Hall of Famer. Just because the grass looks greener somewhere else and you struggle a little bit in 1 year doesn't mean it always is going to be better in that next destination. And for him, he's found it hasn't. And that doesn't mean he's not going to bounce back, but it has been a little odd to see them not get to the tournament these first 2 years.
Well, you're out there as long as the Razorbacks are. We want to thank Sutherland's for providing our coverage for the SEC tournament in Nashville. Sutherland's is where home starts. No matter the project, they are there to help you. Find Sutherland's in Fort Smith, Huntsville, Hot Springs, and in Stuttgart. They are your spring stop for hardware, mulch, tools, and everything you need for building sheds, pole barns, and garages. Sutherlands.com to learn more. And Ty, enjoy yourself, man, and a little caffeine later tonight. It's a long night.
Yeah, we're going to be going to bed about 1:30, guys. So some coffee and some Red Bull to get us going.
All right, we'll be back in a moment. This is halftime.
Winning a national championship's coming. I truly believe that.
This is halftime.
Spring is in the air, and the fish are biting, the gobblers are strutting, and the trees are blooming. Gelco Outdoors, your locally owned one-stop shop, is ready to help you get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Stop by and let our friendly staff help you get the gear you need. Gelco Outdoors, your store for hunt, fish, and work. That's what we do. Gelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Gelco Outdoors.
Whether you're heading to work, hauling the kids to practice, or just hitting the open road, there's one stop that makes every mile better. Jam Mart, your local family-owned home for unmatched service. From Jam and Joe's coffee to the cleanest restrooms in town to high-quality fuel and our go-to Jam Burger baskets. We've got everything you need to keep moving. Stop by any of our locations in Fort Smith, Greenwood, or Boonville. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in Arkansas.
Fill her up, please.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Dental emergencies do not wait, and neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're here for you on the weekends, whether it's a broken tooth, a painful infection, or a crown that's come loose. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are ready to help. Why wait till Monday? Call 479-235-5655 now. Valley Urgent Dental is located at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental, emergency dental care when you need it most.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual.
Now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford, as well as heavy-duty diesel repair and diagnostics.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
For so long it's not true. One day the woman never bargained for you. Lots of people talking, few of them know. Soul of a woman was created.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hey, Matt Jones, are you a crawfish guy? You eat crawfish?
Well, never had a bad meal there. I do not seek it out. How about that? I will not say let's go eat crawfish. No.
Okay. I don't seek it out either, but there have been moments where I've been at a place and I know it's crawfish season that I'll bite the head, suck the tail. Absolutely. They got crawfish, great tasting crawfish. You're in luck at Fish City Grill. Orders are coming twice a week this month at Fish City Grill in Rogers. Friendly staff making Fish City Grill feel like home and taste like a vacation. Spicy crawfish tacos are the March chalkboard special. Also, make sure to try their Carolina barbecue salmon. That's at Fish City Grill, 2003 South Bellevue Road in Rogers. Friendly folks, serious seafood. Got a Fish City Grill trivia question for a Friday today, and it's pertaining to the SEC basketball tournament. So this question pertains to before the most recent 2 rounds of expansion in the SEC. So if you remove Missouri, Texas A&M, Texas, and Oklahoma, it would be not the original 12, because there was an original 12 for the SEC in that case, but going back to when Carolina and Arkansas joined the SEC. That's 12 schools. 11 of them have won at least one SEC basketball tournament. The Razorbacks have that one tournament. What's the one school that hasn't won an SEC basketball tournament? And that would, again, that's out of the 12 schools that were part of the SEC when Arkansas and South Carolina joined. We are not counting Mizzou, A&M, Texas, or Oklahoma. The one of the 12 schools that has not won an SEC tournament championship. We'll take those answers on the text line, on the Lewis Automotive Group text line, 877-377-6963. And the winner, the person who answers that question correctly first, will get a $25 gift card to Fish City Grill in Rogers. So this is amongst the following schools: South Carolina, Arkansas, LSU, Georgia, Vandy, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, Alabama, and Kentucky. And we do have a correct answer very, very quickly coming in here from Carl in Fayetteville. The South Carolina Gamecocks have never won the SEC tournament, although they've won it plenty of times for the women's tournament. That is the South Carolina Invitational practically, although they did lose to Texas in the championship game. We have a few other correct answers coming in, but Carl from Fayetteville is the one who got it correct first. So there's your winner unit. Carl from Fayetteville. There you go, winner on the text line just for him. And Kentucky has won the tournament 31 times. Alabama 8. Tennessee and Florida 5 championships. Auburn and Mississippi State have 3 banners. Ole Miss, Vandy, and Georgia have won it twice. Arkansas and LSU have won it twice either. There's also another school that's no longer part of the SEC that has an SEC tournament championship, which is a little bit odd considering that this league went without a tournament from, I think, about the 40s up until the 80s. Georgia Tech also has an SEC tournament championship in 1938, and they're probably still celebrating it somewhere in Atlanta. So congratulations, Carl in Fayetteville, for winning today's $25 gift card to Fish City Grill in Rogers. We do this every Friday on halftime, and we'll have another question for you tomorrow. Probably have to pertain to the NCAA tournament. Why not? Speaking of the NCAA tournament unit, you've got your halftime homework sponsored by Flyway Brewery coming up soon. You got to be fired up to get that bracket on Sunday and then pick your 10 most difficult pronunciations and your 10 most difficult college mascots. And you're going to get educated in this too. Oh, good.
3. I found 3 already that I'm like, man, that's going to be tough to pronounce.
Meanwhile, somebody, speaking of pronunciations, is going to have to explain to me how. On the Mississippi State baseball team, there is a pair of brothers with the same last name, and they pronounce the last name differently. How does that happen? Yeah, you got Tomas and Vitas, either Valencius if it's Vitas, or Valinkus if it's Tomas. I think they have the same parents. They're from the same hometown in Illinois. They are brothers, but they pronounce their last name differently. I don't get that. All right, we'll go into hour number 3 of halftime. We've got Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen joining us in about 20 minutes, and we are right back.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbIrdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
When a business has been around more than 65 years, you know they're doing something right. Hey, Ty Richardson for Johnny's Transmission. They've been trusted in Fort Smith in the River Valley since 1959. Located at 1212 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, they strive to make every customer's experience outstanding and want your vehicle to be in the best condition for the road ahead. Check out their website, Johnny'sTransmissionFS.com, and find them on Facebook. Johnny's Transmission, family owned and operated since 1959.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash. One call cleans it all.
Hi, everybody. This is Chris George from Joshua's Fine Jewelry in beautiful downtown Russellville. You need a jeweler you can trust to do all the things that you need, like repairs or custom work or one-of-a-kind treasures, spring gift occasions. We have affordable gifts for every need. Quality natural diamonds, beautiful lab-grown diamonds, silver and natural stones, chains, necklaces, rings, whatever you need. Come see us at Joshua's Fine Jewelry in beautiful downtown Russellville.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
A beautiful finish to the work week today with lots of sunshine, highs around 70, west to northwest winds at 5 to 15 miles an hour. Mostly clear tonight with lows in the mid-40s. Sunny for Saturday and a little bit warmer with highs in the mid-70s. Increasing clouds Saturday night with lows in the mid-50s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor, located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Name of one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
One thing, two things are starting today when it comes right down to it. It's postseason play for Arkansas basketball. It's SEC play for Arkansas baseball. I know softball already is an SEC play since they are a week ahead of the baseball teams. Softball's 22-2 for crying out loud, and after taking 2 out of 3 from Georgia, they're on the road to battle number 4 Alabama in a series that starts at 6 o'clock tonight. So right now that's the winningest team of any of the teams that are playing. But looks like Florida has a 9-point lead going into the locker room against Kentucky, 37-28. Florida's plus 9 rebounds, already 12 second chance points. That's round 1 of this third day of the SEC tournament. And, of course, the Razorbacks later tonight against Oklahoma. And let's hear from Porter Moser, head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, on recovering from last night.
We're excited to play. You know, we knew A&M's pace. Our guys are going to go through the recovery. They're chasing. And, you know, your mindset is these guys aren't thinking about being tired. We know we got to recover tonight. We know we got to recover tomorrow. We know they've had 2 days, but that we're not going to dwell on that. We're going to dwell on what we got to do to compete against Arkansas.
fresh legs, though, Matt. This Arkansas team will have some fresh legs ready to go tonight, and I just wonder how fresh Oklahoma's legs can be after playing as well as they've played for these last 2 games. It's still 3 games in 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, that's to be 19, 20 years old again. How cool is that? Oklahoma's hot right now. They're one of the hottest teams. I like our squad. You know, the one thing we can't do is we can't get in foul trouble, and you can't have somebody get hurt. We don't have a lot of depth. You know, it's a war of attrition. It's going to be 3 games, and it's less than 3 days. You know, like if you go by the hours. So if you're going to do it, you're going to win 3 games in less than 3 days. Oklahoma, I think you'll see some tired legs from Oklahoma if it's late in the second half. Sometimes a team like that, you'll see them, they'll come out and they'll jump out early, and then they don't have anything late. So it's Arkansas. Man, this first one, I think it's all in the hands of Arkansas. I mean, whatever we do, it's going to be up to us.
49-point first half for Oklahoma yesterday. I mean, they were up 20. It felt like 10 minutes into the game. It's kind of nuts.
A&M can't throw it in the ocean. I know, yeah.
Nah. A&M, man, that's a team that really fell off. They were in first place in the SEC for a long while.
Look at their first half of the schedule when you're doing that. Look at those first 9 games and look at their second 9 games, and you could see why, and things happen a little bit. And the thing with A&M is they're a really, really, really good defensive team when they're clicking. But they can't score. So, you know, you can kind of win some games early, but then when you get found out, because you got to be able to put the ball through the hoop.
As I'm looking through their schedule too, Matt, here, I'm not sure how many surefire NCAA tournament teams they've beaten. You know, they're Georgia, I think Georgia's going to be in. So they did beat Georgia. Outside of that, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, they beat Kentucky. Kentucky will get in. LSU, it took them 3 overtimes to beat LSU in the last regular season game. You're right about that, man. I mean, they beat LSU twice. Auburn, Oklahoma for a 3-0 SEC start, then lost at Tennessee, then beat Texas, Mississippi State, South Carolina, and Georgia. So they didn't really beat all that many teams. But it's crazy because what was this? That was a 7-1 or an 8-1 SEC start, and they end up losing, it looks like, 8 of their last 12. But that's also a team that's going to make it in, but that's also, I think, a team that could make a pretty early exit. Let's hear more from Porter Mosier. Hear his thoughts on the Razorbacks.
Got a ton of respect for Arkansas, a ton of respect for Cal. He's one of the best, and their team.
Challenges he could present for y'all's defense tomorrow.
Amazing. We saw firsthand. I mean, he really took over down the stretch against us. I know he's been compared to a lot of NBA guys, as he should. He just has like that Derrick Rose, Allen Iverson speed with power. And he makes the right pass. For a young guy, he doesn't get sped up too much. He can score at all 3 levels. He can get to the rim at ease. He can hit you and get some separation on a pull-up, and he's got deep range. He's phenomenal.
21 points, 10 turnovers the first time against Oklahoma. So he would have had a hand in that case in, about 41 points, representing about half of the point total for Arkansas. Yeah, 10 assists. 10 assists along with 21 points.
Yeah, man, there's Oklahoma, and we get caught up in this. I asked you this question. I've watched Arkansas play all year. There's not 2 other NBA guards in the SEC. You know, like, so well, who's he playing against? There's not a lot of NBA talent he's going up against. So Acuff's that's especially at the point guard position. You know, there's not 3 other NBA guards in the SEC. So there was nobody really that could hold Acuff this year.
Don't know if there's anybody right now in the teams that are lined up against you that could hold him down too.
A player like that, we've talked about it before. You got to defend him as a group collectively. You're not going to ever just put one guy on him. Everybody, you got to know how far can you help off your guy. Can your guy shoot threes? Does your guy like the back cut? Is he trying to get positioning? It's got to be team defensive concepts when you're playing against a guy that's as good as Acuff. And do you try to take Acuff out and think, well, we'll make somebody else beat us, or hey, let Acuff get his, but don't let anybody else get going. There's kind of two schools of thought.
877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline if you want to call or you want to text. Neil Atkinson, Bet Saracen coming up in the next segment. I know the baseball game is not airing on our stations today, so the best place to listen to it would be, I know the Razorback app has had some issues. That's usually the first place I would tell you to listen. If they're not fixed, make sure you download the Varsity Network app. That's the best. You can listen to almost any collegiate broadcast, radio broadcast, which also includes any of these SEC games on the SEC radio network. But yeah, if the games aren't aired, now we can't air the baseball and then just go into basketball and cut off baseball in the middle of it. So that's the best way to do it. Just download the Varsity Network it works on Android, it works on Apple iPhones, and then all you got to do is search for Arkansas, and you'll see the baseball broadcast right there. So, and you deal with these things right now this time of the year, and as long as Arkansas is playing in the SEC tournament, the baseball games will get preempted on the radio. And, of course, when it comes to the NCAA tournament, you could be playing at any time of the day, and those games will always take precedence over baseball. So if you want to listen to one or the other, basketball will always be over the air. Baseball is always available on the Varsity Network app. Again, I tell you to download the Razorback app first and foremost, but they've had some problems with it, and it hasn't necessarily played all the broadcasts that it's supposed to. So because it'll be airing, that app will be airing the Razorback basketball game tonight. There could be some issues with it, so try the Arkansas Razorback app first, and then I would say try the Varsity Network app second is the best way to do it. Yeah, it's this time of the year. That's just how it goes. You never end up having basketball and football go up against each other because everything is scheduled perfectly at that point. And it's the university that can control the scheduling. It's not the NCAA that's controlling it. It's not the SEC that's controlling it at that point. So you never have to worry about that in November. But in March, yeah, it's the kind of thing you're going to be dealing with over and over and over and over again. But I'll be there for a 5:30 airtime for baseball. And since I brought baseball up for a quick moment there, here is Dave Van Horn talking about some different positions on his team.
Yeah, we've definitely done that. And working with some guys that maybe positions are not, known to play a lot, and maybe played it before down the road or back in high school and summer ball, things like that. But, I don't want to take too much away from the defense. But at the same time, we need to get our bats rolling. We just need to have a little deeper lineup.
Yeah, you mentioned a second ago, maybe playing or practicing some guys at new positions. Any examples?
No.
I'm glad I didn't ask him that question yesterday, Matt. Well, you know what? That's proprietary information. And it's interesting that he didn't want to say it because the baseball coaches very rarely keep anything secretive. You can go and watch the practice and see who's working there. But this does show. I don't remember, any of the seasons leading into SEC play where that's been the case, where you're trying guys at positions they haven't played before and might not have even played since high school. I don't know. I don't know if is this the right word? It is a little bit desperate. It does feel a little desperate to try to lengthen that lineup, to use Dave's term. But go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and we make stats fit our narrative for Chandler and Van Buren. It's like talking about Arkansas being the number one scoring team after we played Arkansas State. It's like, yeah, go look. They beat the Manhattan Project and scored 110. They beat Kennesaw State. Like, chill out, Holmes. You can make any type of stat fit your narrative. A&M's not a very good basketball team.
877-377-6963 to get with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We've got Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen coming up next, so stay with us.
And Nolan Richardson's team, there'll be no one in the 64 looking forward to a matchup against this young group.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Once people tried Taco Bell's new Lux value menu with 10 decadent items, all $3 or less, including the new mini taco salad, an edible bowl filled with succulent seasoned beef and dressed with a lavish chipotle crema, they started expecting everything to be as Lux. You're wondering which is the mini taco salad for it, aren't you? Taco Bell's new Lux value menu, 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
It's here, the ultimate challenge going on at the Lewis Automotive Group, and we're on a mission to sell over 600 vehicles, and we're getting extremely close. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, and more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back all month long. Get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models, and payments starting at only $199 a month. The ultimate savings, the ultimate selection, and the ultimate amount for your trade. The ultimate challenge going on only at the Lewis Automotive Group.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
While most people are playing for bragging rights, MyBookie is giving away $100,000 in their Madness Bracket Contest. This is about turning your ball knowledge into bankroll. Head to MyBookie.ag. Use code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. The madness only comes once a year. So don't just watch it, win it. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and
It's what a girl wants.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Right now on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline, joining us is Neil Atkinson, Senior Director of Gaming Operations at Bet Saracen and Saracen Casino. Appreciate you, Neil. Got something for everybody today, man. There's World Baseball Classic, there's college baseball, but I think most people right now are thinking about basketball tournaments, and here in Arkansas, that's going to be top of mind.
Oh, yeah. I was just looking at the numbers from last week, and I think like 73% of all of our right now this time of year is on basketball, with, of course, the majority of that being on NCAA. Now, last week, the NBA picked up a little bit there, and the women's game picked up because of the tournaments there. But, yeah, it's basketball time of year, but it's an incredible time of year with the crossover with, you've got NCAA baseball, we've got Major League Baseball starting. But, I mean, if you just look at this weekend, you've got Arkansas in the SEC tournament. You've got a nationally ranked matchup with Arkansas baseball with Mississippi State. Probably the best softball series of the weekend is Arkansas and Alabama also. And then you throw in the Players' Championship in golf. You throw in a Formula One race. You got UFC Fight Night. I mean, it's a lot to keep up. Now, it's the funnest part of the year for me, but it's the busiest and most stressful part of the year for me. And this week is any indication, March should be the biggest sports betting right month in Arkansas, especially if Arkansas advances to the tournament.
Yeah, the longer the Hogs play, the more people will be engaged, certainly, as far as that's concerned. What's the line for tonight's game against Oklahoma? And I don't know if you can go back and check about what the line was when they met the first time around, because that was a long time ago, and these teams are different.
Oh, yeah, these are different. I don't have that right up I don't have that handy, but tonight's line is Arkansas favored by 7.5. The over and under is 167. If you're a money line bettor, you got to lay three to win one, just for them to win outright. If you want to bet Oklahoma, you can get 2.5 to 1 on your money. But in this state, it's almost, we go with the consensus line, and we always try to make sure that we have the best price on Arkansas games. I mean, we just did a benchmark with national operators and state operators, and out of future markets and lines and things of that nature, Bet Saracen had the best price on all of them but one. And as soon as I found that out, we had the best price on that one too. But we try to do that. Now, sometimes one of the large operators will get a big bet from somebody outside the market and may adjust their lines a little bit. But overall, I want to make sure everybody gets the best lines here in the state, especially on the Razorbacks.
What's it like on Monday after Selection Sunday, and everybody's got their brackets, and everybody does a bracket. Not everybody ends up using a sports betting app for the tournament, but I know Monday's just got to be incredibly busy as far as that's concerned, because that's when people are doing their research and maybe starting to make their picks on the app too.
Yeah, and we've got to follow Selection Sunday, then we've got to get all of the odds up, and then we've got to jump right into it and be ready for the first four, on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we're in the thick of it from Thursday on. I mean, those 4 days, Thursday through Sunday, are usually the four biggest days of volume that we have on the year. And just look at it yesterday. Last year, Arkansas played, I think they lost to Ole Miss on Thursday in the SEC tournament. So they played on Thursday this tournament, and we wrote about $1 million in right last year. Arkansas was not playing yesterday, and we had almost 1.6 million in right yesterday on the app, and that's without any Arkansas teams in play yesterday. So I'm, today with baseball, softball, and of course the nightcap, and I'm pretty sure this Arkansas-Oklahoma game is going to be the key game in a lot of people's parlays tonight. So it's going to be a sweat of a liability, but you don't have to feel sorry for me. I get to sit here and look at sports bets all days long, and I don't get in trouble for having all the games on TV in front of me while I'm working, like some people would at work. So, it is a little bit stressful with all of the volume and all of the money that's flying around. But at the end of the day, we're ready for it, and want our customers to have a good experience. And hey, the ball bounces to the player's favor, we pay it out, and of course we know it can always go the other way. But players had a really, really good week over the last couple of weeks, especially on Arkansas.
Is once the NCAA tournament starts? I know right now in the conference tournament you can do the in-game betting. Is that also available during the March Madness event itself?
Yeah, absolutely. It cost me a whole bunch of money because I had to switch data providers because the NCAA did a data deal with one of the data providers. And one of the things that they are really, really looking on is if you're not an official data provider, they're going to try to find scouts in the NCAA tournament and kick them out. And I could not, with my player base, jeopardize that. So I stepped up and changed data providers because I'm guaranteed to have live in-play coverage and uninterrupted, low latency on top of it. So, we are prepared for that, and we are with the official data source for that, and we're guaranteed coverage on every one of the NCAA games live in play. And it's a big part of the business because people like to use that in play to hedge bets a lot. And it's just fun betting while the game's going on. Also, now there's a few markets that during the regular season you will not see, because the NCAA has kind of weighed in and kind of restricted what we can and can't do on player props specifically. But we tend not to do negative props on college players anyway, especially on any content that we do. And we should have a good smooth tournament in that regards.
Moving to baseball here briefly, Mississippi State is favored today, -145 on the money line. They're favored by 1.5. I mean, they've only lost 2 games. It's 2 teams in the top 10, and Arkansas's lost 5 games, and I don't think any of those teams are ranked. So that does make some sense, Neil.
Yeah, but I do have a projection from one of my. Now, this one I haven't used. I didn't use it last year. It's a new one, and I don't really. It's because of the level of competition prior to we get to conference play. The confidence in the models is not there. My model come out has Arkansas winning tonight 8-7.
I like your model. I like your model very much.
Yeah. So and that's 15 runs in the game. But we know what Mississippi State brings to the table, and especially with their new coach that they have.
O'Connor, Brian O'Connor.
What's his name? Brian O'Connor when he was at Virginia. I got a stat right here. I'll say so. Brian O'Connor's teams at Virginia's in the postseason in 2009, 14, and 15. They had a 3-1 record against the Razorback in those games, including 1-1 at the College World Series. Now, on the flip side, Mississippi State has not won a series in Fayetteville since 2007, and have won the past 8 series against the Bulldogs at Bob Walker Stadium. So here's the stat that I like. Arkansas, that I think may be the difference, is Arkansas is 12th in the SEC with a 2.96 betting average. Mississippi State leads the league with a 3.54. And look at the runs. Arkansas has scored 111 runs this year versus 183 for Mississippi State. So for the series, it's going to be an important series, but I like the matchup tonight, especially the pitching matchup. And if Arkansas's bats can get warmed up, they can take game 1 against Mississippi State.
Real quick, I got a question here from Cody. He asks if there are prop bets for rebounds for Nick Pringle tonight. It's kind of funny, isn't it?
Well, no, no. I mean, look, if you would DM us on our Twitter feed, any of those, any markets that you have, but I do have, one of the best crop companies that we get with. So was that what was that stat again? Nick Pringle's on.
Nick Pringle rebounds, and it's weird. Like I don't remember. I don't have my box score from the LSU game from last Saturday, but I think he was like plus 10, and I don't think he grabbed a rebound, which those things don't really add up.
Yeah, you know what? Here's crazy, I'll call it and I'll see, and maybe they didn't have enough to give him that. I've got rebounds on Brazile, Richmond, Malik Thomas, and Acuff on tonight's game. I don't have Nick Pringle on that one, and that's just because the data provider didn't provide it. So, but I'll see if I can't get one up, or I'll have them add that one in there. But yeah, he's the only one that I don't have covered right now as far as the starters.
All right. Well, maybe he'll get up there soon. Neil, we'll leave it there, and we'll talk as long as Arkansas is not playing next Friday during the show, which certainly could be a possibility. We'll have a lot of tournament basketball to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to have a fun week. You know, everybody will be filling out their brackets, getting ready for that. Also, this time of year with everything that's going on, and a lot of us get caught up in emotions, you know, make sure you keep sports betting fun and entertaining, bet with your head and not over it. Set you out a budget, and don't chase any losses. But have fun with it, and good luck, everybody. Can be a big weekend for Arkansas sports and all the various ones, and I know people really want to see a good performance tonight and advance in the SEC tournament, and looking forward to the big dance starting next week.
Thanks, Neil. It's Neil Atkinson, Senior Director of Gaming Operations at Bet Saracen and Saracen Casino. He joins us Friday on Halftime. You can download Bet Saracen for your iPhone from the App Store. If you've got an Android phone, you go to Google Play. You can type it into a web browser. It's betsaracen.com, but make sure you are within the state of Arkansas to use Bet Saracen. All right, our Lewis Automotive Group hotline open for the home stretch of a Friday, 877-377-6963. We're back in just a few minutes.
Fake up, lobs it for Billy, and Richmond throws it down.
This is halftime.
Smalls here. If it feels like everybody's sick right now, you aren't imagining it. Doctors say this is the worst cold and flu season in 25 years, and it's not over. I can't afford to get sick, and I doubt that you can either. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy right in your home. It includes prescriptions like generic Z-Pak to help you get well faster, plus antibiotics to treat pneumonia, strep throat, sinus and ear infections, nausea, even UTIs and other common illnesses. It's in your kit the moment you need it. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no lines at the pharmacy, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook and call their telemedicine doctor standing by. Order your medical emergency kit online in minutes and it ships to your door. Save $45 with my promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. Again, that's $45 off with promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. That's urgentcarekit.com/smalls, promo code SMALLS.
Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
The spring kickoff sale is coming to Sutherland's March 21st. And Ruskin and Zach, we're crashing the party a day early on Friday, March 20th. Live from 2 to 6 to get you ready for lawn season. Trees, shrubs, and tropical plants, 40% off with Garden Club. 10-inch deluxe hanging baskets were $12.99, now $6.99. 3-gallon shade tree, special regularly $49.99, only $12.99. There'll be plant seminars, other special offers, and food and drinks provided by the Lions Club. Ruskin and Zach will be live at Sutherland's, 1801 South Zero Street in Fort Smith, Friday, March 20th from 2 to 6. Sutherland's, no matter the project, here to help because at Sutherland's, home starts here.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and we'll give you the dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Spring is in the air, and the fish are biting, the gobblers are strutting, and the trees are blooming. Jelco Outdoors, your locally owned one-stop shop, is ready to help you get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Stop by and let our friendly staff help you get the gear you need. Jelco Outdoors, your store for hunt, fish, and work. That's what we do. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Every day in the week, I'm in a different city. If I stay too long, people try to pull me down. They talk about it like I'm lost, talk about the clothes I wear. But they don't realize it's a one split. Hey, that's why. You can't hold me down. I don't want to be down. I got to move on. Stone.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Boy, Florida's out rebounding Kentucky 36-19. Made 9 of 11 free throws. Kentucky's only been to the foul line 7 times. And Condon leading all scorers with 19 points. 49-36. Florida leading, coming up on the 12-minute mark. So it does look like they're pulling away. Florida's led the entire game, all 26 minutes worth. And the winner of that will play the winner of Tennessee and Vanderbilt, which, man, that should be a lot of fun. I know Ty said he's going to go over and watch that game. You get the Nashville school against the school that most of the state of Tennessee would root for, and all of them probably enjoying saying goodbye to the Kentucky fans as they are forced to leave the arena a little bit earlier than they would like to. I remember, Matt, my first time ever going with Arkansas baseball coincided with, it was a Vanderbilt Road Series in 2015, and it coincided with the SEC tournament in Bridgestone Arena. And I remember we had some fans that ended up going to baseball and basketball. I think that was I think Arkansas lost to Kentucky. I think it was a semifinal game in the tournament that year. And I remember going out to dinner after the I think it was we played a Friday game that was, there was a lot of rain, Saturday a lot of rain, went out to dinner after the Saturday game, and all I'm doing is wearing a Razorback hat. And no matter where you were in downtown Nashville, there's like a Kentucky fan ready to shout at you. It's just, I know they view it as like their home tournament, and it's also, I keep being told, that's where the fans that can't get season tickets or tickets to Rupp end up going to the SEC tournament at Bridgestone Arena. But they're only going to get to see 3 games, and none of them on the weekend. Too bad. Too bad. Long, long night. Long, long night. I wonder if I can even make it to the end of the basketball game. But, Matt, you get to be on Hog Reaction tonight. Lucky you.
Maybe. Just maybe.
As long as the phone rings, right?
You never know around these parts.
Phone's got to ring first for in order for it to happen. That's right. If it doesn't ring, we can get a little AI. AI works. It really does. I even asked AI. I asked ChatGPT to give me some analysis for the Kentucky-Mizzou game from yesterday. And it even, because my ChatGPT, Matt, knows that I do radio. It tells me, here's a short broadcast-style summary. If you wanted to describe it, Kentucky controlled the game for most of the afternoon, built a 16-point second-half lead, then survived a furious Missouri comeback led by Mark Mitchell's 32 points. When Missouri – see, here's the thing. It doesn't tell you anything about strategy, about any plays that were run. You know, it's basically like you would say sometimes is reading through the box score. So, but chat can work. Chat can do a little sports analysis.
Chat GPT, I think that's how you solve the world's problems. I really do.
Some people think they do.
Yeah, that must be emotion. That must be really, really cool.
Good emotional regulation,
Never
isn't it?
one time in my entire life have I asked Chat GPT to do anything. I don't know what that says about me or what it is, but not one time. And no, I don't want a self-driving car. I know how to drive a car.
What would you do if you had a cab pull up? Now, you can tell which are the ones that are the driverless ones because they got the little thing on the top of it that's spinning around. I know you wouldn't even get in one of those. I would maybe get in one of those things, but I would want to at least have the ability to get out at a red light if I'm just not comfortable with it.
Be like your what was the Fifth Element with Bruce Willis when they lock his car. He's driving and all of a sudden and just bam. You got to have some type of manual overdrive, right? Like they just autopilot that and there's nothing you can do about it.
My favorite is when you see the little delivery robots. I don't know if you see any of those in Arkansas, but I've seen them in Los Angeles and a couple other cities. You see the delivery robots, and it just looks like a cooler on wheels that's driving down the sidewalk. And you got to get out of the way of the thing. And all you want to do is like open the thing up and see what they've got on ice. It'd be pretty good. Chris wants a flying car.
Yes.
I mean, I'd like the flying. Yeah, that sounds terrific. You want to be the first to get in the flying car, Matt? I keep being told there are some flying cars out there. I'm not ready to get in those things.
Not really. I'm not a fan of flying, honestly. It's been a while since I've been on a plane. I've never liked it. Don't really enjoy flying on a plane.
I just fall asleep. I literally cannot stay awake
in a plane at all. I whatever it is, it's like every little thing you're like, that's it. That's the one. That's that's it. That means it. Yep, that's the whole time. I'm the worst. You don't want to travel with me. Yeah.
Well, then the other thing too is like unless you get a first class seat, how are you going to fit yourself in one of those?
Well,
in one of those tiny little seats where your knees are going to be by your chin.
A first class seat does come with a bottle of grape juice, and want to know you're a little more cheery in a first class seat and a bottle of grape juice. I'll tell you that.
A little cheery and a little more weary with the ability to just fall asleep. But I can just do it. I don't know what it is. I can fall asleep in any moving vehicle as long as I'm not driving it. I've been really good at driving and staying awake, but if I'm in something with wheels, it's like on a train, I stay awake on a train. I don't understand it. It has to be the fact that there's wheels. Although those wheels on a train just don't have tires. I don't understand it, Matt.
You done any of those bullet trains over in Europe? I've
never been to Europe.
Okay, I've done some of those trains, and you talk about smooth, man. Those are eerie smooth. It's they get it. See, that's what Lana Del Rey thought. She thought that Little Rock had one of those to XNA, and just thought.
That's right, because it's next door.
Yeah.
Rogers by Little. Was it Rogers near Little Rock? That's right. That's one of the reasons I want to try Japan. I don't think it's going to happen this next summer. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull it off. But I want to ride the bullet trains in Japan from one ballpark to the other because I'm going to Japan. I'm watching baseball. It's all there is to it. I want to eat noodles at a game. I've never eaten noodles at a baseball game, but I think that's what you got to do. It's all sorts of noodles while you're watching a game, and maybe if you catch a foul ball in your noodle bowl, they'll let you, I don't know, give you $10,000. I'd take that.
10,000 yen. What do they give over? It's not dollars over there. What do they give over there?
Japanese yen.
Do they do
it's yen.
Bitcoin in Japan?
I think they do Bitcoin everywhere. I have no idea how to use it or spend it. I don't have any Bitcoin. If we're talking GPT or driverless cars or anything like that, I've got no Bitcoin in my pocket.
Zero.
Or in my virtual wallet. Am I missing out on something special here? Probably not. Well, probably so. It's okay. And now all of a sudden now Unit here wants us to do something with GPT. Do you see this photo he just made of you? This isn't Unit. This is Dr. Charlie. Dr. Charlie just sent us a photo of a happy, smiling Matt Jones in a Tesla. Showing the peace sign. And that's you, man. That is definitely you. It looks like you.
Those aren't my britches.
No, you would never wear pants like that. That's right.
I don't think those are my britches.
You know the other thing too here, Matt? This is looks like a 6'1" or maybe a 5'10" Matt Jones. This is a considerably shorter Matt Jones than I know. Oh man, I love Charlie's on top of it there. Well done. Well, that's how I made my baseball scorebook photos. It's ChatGPT of me and Bubba. Why not? There it is. Anybody can look at it on our video stream. You got me and Bubba. It's at some ballpark that I don't know. That's not Omaha, but I think Chat thought it was Omaha. And we're sitting. I told Chat to put us behind home plate. It put me to the side of home plate. But yeah, I mean, look, that's Bubba. He's holding a bat. He's standing because he never sits. He's got his vest, and I'm sitting straight, which is probably not how I usually sit. Got my laptop in front of me, and it actually looks like us. And that really looked like you too, Matt Jones. Go figure. Steve's right. I could take a cup of ramen into the booth tonight. I just got to. Well, at the hotel here, they got one of those little pantries where for $1 you can get some incredibly healthy ramen noodles. But I'll try anything now, right? We've already tried all sorts of stuff to get the bats going. It's on me. The pickle juice shots didn't work. I think Bubba's really happy about that. You should have seen the look on his face, Matt, when he drank that pickle juice shot on Monday, which is also proof. Bubba will do anything if he thinks it's going to get the Razorback bats going, because I think for him that was more like drinking raw chicken blood or something. I don't know. So I've tried the pickle juice shots. We've tried the beet chews. We even tried turmeric chews. It's all the stuff from the virtual Circle K in the Razorback dugout, all towards the clubhouse. I always eat the Uncrustable, so that's just to get me ready. If I don't have the Uncrustable, I'm probably not going to be any good on the broadcast. But maybe the ramen noodles can help, because if it works in Japan, it can work there. And then, oh, you know what I forgot to do, Matt? I forgot to bring Bubba his kimchi that I told him yesterday I was going to bring. I didn't bring any kimchi, so I guess I have to stop at Walmart and get some for him too. That'll make him happy.
Ooh, kimchi. Sometimes, man, they got to do that right. You ever do kombucha? You got to do that.
Oh, I've had kombucha.
You got to do that right as well. Some of that stuff I can do. Some of it I can't, man.
Next time you and I do a show out on location, even if it's a barbecue restaurant, I'm bringing some kimchi for you as a gift.
Carrots,
little sweet,
cabbage.
little spicy, just like you.
There's a place called Green Papaya. They do this it's some red cabbage and green cabbage. Oh, with now I can't do the fish sauce, but I can do the sriracha. I can do the homemade soy sauce.
See, now I'm getting hungry, and it's about the end of the show. And there's a place next door that I don't have kimchi, but they got tacos, and that is the magic word. So we'll break here in a moment and then wrap the show up. Before we do that, remember Crabtree RV Center. When you're thinking about big adventures for the family in the upcoming summer, Crabtree RV Center is your place to stop, right where they've been for 75 years and counting. In Alma, they're at the junction of I-40 and I-49. You get always, every single time, the best RV purchasing experience at Crabtree RV Center. They have personalized financing, top-of-the-line parts and service department where you made your purchase. Crabtree RV Center. They're online at crabtreerv.com, and we'll wrap the show up right after this break.
How about Isaiah? Hell yeah.
This is halftime.
We've seen it all. Recessions, tornadoes, even a global pandemic. But Hug Chevrolet GMC never closed its doors. We stuck with our community because they stuck with us. And through it all, one thing never changed: our commitment to serve, support, and stay local. Hug Chevrolet GMC, built to last, just like the people we serve.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Dental emergencies do not wait, and neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're here for you on the weekends, whether it's a broken tooth, a painful infection, or a crown that's come loose. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are ready to help. Why wait till Monday? Call 479-235-5655 now. Valley Urgent Dental is located at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental, emergency dental care when you need it most.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Dozy Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Dozy Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, or the times they are a-changing.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, wrapping the show up here. Got a good weekend coming up here, Matt Jones. I wonder, too, about the ability for a doubleheader tomorrow. DVH had something to say about the weather the other day.
Going to be a big crowd. The weather's going to be great. I mean, for 2 days here, we're going to have perfect weather to play college baseball in. So I don't know on Sunday.
There's your hint. For 2 days, we're going to have great weather for college baseball. 68 up to a high of 71 today with no chance of rain. Tomorrow, high of 77, 3% chance of rain. Sunday, 80% chance of rain all day long. I think you guys can figure it out. They just haven't made an announcement yet. I haven't heard a thing, but you can see the direction this thing is going. Which would be the first doubleheader of the year, which feels a little bit weird. 13-point game right now. Florida 56, Kentucky 43, coming up on 9:15 left in the second half. There's no way Kentucky makes up 13 points against that Florida team in these last 9 minutes, Matt Jones. So
better phone Taylor Swift.
That's right. And they will move on to I deleted that one, so I don't remember who it is that they'll play. But later tonight, as long as I can stay awake, I know you'll be able to stay awake. How do you stay awake for a late game? I stand through the entire thing. Once I get back to the hotel, I'll set the laptop up, I'll turn the game on, and I will stand for the entire thing. The moment my cheeks hit that couch or go on the bed, I'm out.
I can't get in bed. That's the thing. If I go lay in the bed, it's over. That's it. Gotta just try to play little games with yourself as far as, hey, in 30 minutes, make a cup of coffee. In another 30 minutes, eat something, just try to just have some type of game.
Can you drink coffee at night and still fall asleep later?
I mean, here's the thing with that. Like, I'll fall asleep, but it's like I don't sleep as well. I wake up after a few hours and can't go back to sleep for some reason. It's kind of, I really don't. I could put on one hand a year, though, how many times I drink coffee, past 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I really don't really do that.
This is about the time of the year where sometimes I start doing that. Because I think this is our first night game.
I read, you take anything you read in Men's Health as gospel, but there's talk about, like, when you drink coffee, it's 12 hours in your system before it dissipates. So it's like you drink a cup of coffee at noon, it's still in your like 8 to 12 hours before it goes away. The caffeine is still circulating. So I bet, like anything, we build up a tolerance and you do all that, but and it's like, only let your alarm go off once. Don't be one of those people that let your alarm go off 7 times.
That's when, me, I live in hotels practically. So I can tell you that there are definitely a lot of hotels out there where, I don't know why, people let that alarm just go. And you know the annoying sound of that alarm that you hear at 5 o'clock in the morning over and over and over again. But I'm the person that doesn't need to set the alarm. As long as I tell myself it's time to wake up at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, I'm going to be up at 5:58.
I forget what hotel we were at, but I straight up Billy Bob Thornton, Bad Santa, the alarm clock. We were somewhere in Little Rock, and at like 5:30 a.m., the alarm clock goes off from the people before. You're like, what a a-hole. People leave the hotel, but they set the alarm for some obscure time, and then they're gone, and nobody resets it. Woo.
And then you just treat it like Bill Murray and Groundhog Day.
That's it.
Yeah. Ruskin and Zach are coming up in just a few minutes. Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast will be ready to go in a moment. If you missed any of our conversations today with James Teague, Aaron Torres, Ty Richardson, and Neil Atkinson, it's all on the Bet Saracen Halftime Podcast. Unit, have fun with your halftime homework, and thanks to Flyway Brewery for providing the halftime homework. We'll have a fun pop quiz for when we see the brackets when we get back here on Monday. Otherwise, hope you guys have a great weekend. For Matt Jones and for Christian Johnston, I'm Phil Elson. That is halftime. Have yourself a great Friday, and go Hogs.